know where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by betonline.ag and Underdog Fantasy. BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball, to NHL and UFC, BetOnline is the number one sports betting source for the new year. From touchdowns to three-pointers and hat tricks, BetOnline has you covered on every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Want to make some quick cash and have fun during the NFL playoffs? Well, it's time to embrace your inner underdog. Over the last 3 weeks, we have given 11 selections, and we have cashed on 10 of those, predicting higher or lower on multiple different player statistics. So we are ready to continue this heater into the playoffs. So if you have yet to download the Underdog app, do so now and get free cash. Click the link in the description or use promo code CHIEFCONCERNS, one word, to claim your free pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. It's NFL playoff season, so let's continue to keep the good vibes in 2025. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. This is Cash and Props with Dunn and Dash. I'm Marcus Dash, and right there is our guy, former Chiefs tight end, Jason Dunn. JD, how are you doing, brother?
Hey, what is up? What is up, brother? Hey, man, listen, it is a day before Christmas, the way I look at it. We're going to have Christmas all over again. So this is the playoffs. We know what it is, Marcus. We know what we're stepping into. We are ready for this game. It is Red Friday. So we all got our little red on, right? Representing a little bit.
Yes, sir.
So, of course, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. You know, I got a couple, you know, I'm gonna show these. I got a couple little, not really stress balls. These things right here, these things are just kind of having it around, you know, doing a little bit of my chi and stuff, you know, in my hands, just moving around and stuff, man. We are ready. We are ready is what that is. So, hey, exciting time. I'm going to have some good things, man, for the keys of victory. But we have for ourselves a guest on our show. It's coming on tonight, man. My brother, the man that's on the field, in the locker room. He's going to be bringing some good things out for us to talk about today. I'm glad he was able to get on the show. And so I'm glad we made this connection, man, because we get to talk about some of the things, obviously, that kind of came out about who's going to play, who's starting, what is Jalen Watson looking like on the field, what is DJ Humphrey, he's going to be the guy starting for us and whatnot. So a lot of different things came out. But our guy, man, who talk about it, Darren Smith, is going to be joining the show to kind of get, you know, people a good glimpse of, you know, some of those things happening. Now, I think it's better, you know, when we have somebody talking as opposed to on Twitter, you know, you're trying to get some things, information and stuff like that out. But Darren does an amazing job, man. I love it, all his work. Good brother, good dude. So it's going to be a very, very good show. And so people that's coming in, y'all seeing this, hey, man, y'all step into something good. Y'all step into something good.
On the Fridays, it's one of our interesting shows, right? Because we have the betting aspect of things. You have the keys to victory, and then randomly we got some surprising little nuggets that come in every so often. And tonight, Darren's blessing us with his time tonight as we all gear up for this game tomorrow. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions for Darren, please comment on the chat, and I'm sure Darren will answer to the best of his knowledge on some of the questions you guys got. I have a few questions. I mean, there's one specifically. Steven Nelson, will we see him tomorrow?
Oh.
Will we? I don't know. Probably not, but why not? Well, maybe Darren's got the insights there. But yeah, guys. So yeah, we'll bring Darren on. So yeah, Teja will be on coming at the end of the show. So pretty much lay the land tonight. Darren will come on, chat, preview some of the stuff for the game. We're gonna say, JD.
Hold on. Hey, man, I just noticed, I'm looking at the chat. Talking
What?
about you got a nice fresh cut, man, for the playoffs. Hey, look at you, dapper.
I
I
had
see
to.
you, baby. I see you, man. Looks dope on you, man. Yeah,
Well,
let's go.
it was one of those things. I don't usually cut my hair short. It was one of those things where I was there and I just had a little trim on the top, and my barber, she was like, "Yeah, I'm going out of town in early March. I won't be back till late April, early May." And I'm like, "Whoa." I was, that's a long time. I was like, okay. I was like, let's chop it down a little bit more, and then yeah. So that now I got this very fresh cut, not a winter cut by any means, more of a summer spring cut, but I had to do it. JD, it got very long. Last haircut I had was October, and for me that's
really.
That's an eternity for me.
Do you just kind of trim it yourself? Like I do, trim up if I need to and whatnot like that. But you just let it grow, huh?
I'll let it grow. I'll cut the sides like right here like that, so it's like not like too much or around the ears. I'll do that, but nothing. Yeah, I don't trust myself. And the last time I had someone do it, I had Laura cut my hair during COVID, when no one was really getting out to she actually did a pretty good job, but nah, we got to go with my lady Hannah. So Hannah does a good job.
Hannah did a great job. So my man looking clean out here for the playoffs. So you got him right. She got you all together. Matter of fact, I was shout out real quick to DeJuan, Nappy Roots does the Chiefs guys here. And when I was in Kansas City, he actually did my hair too. But I've had a couple of guys kind of do that, man, as well. Tommy is another guy, man, that kind of does my hair out in Kansas City. So I had to always give like a little love to our barbers, man, to kind of get us right, man. My guy here, Greg Boyd. Okay, shout out to him. He does a great job with it too. So go on, get your cuts and your fades all together because we're about to give a fade to those Texans. That's what's going to happen. All right, we're going to fade the jokers out. How about that, man?
Way to bring it back. I like that, JD.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Drew Brushke, that's a high tight fade. Yep. So long story short, a couple of years ago after COVID, I wanted to change up my hairstyle a little bit. I was in the local news, so I always kept it very, very formal kind of haircut. So outside of the local news days, I wanted to freshen up a little bit. So it was after COVID. I was watching First Take and I see a JJ Redick on there. You know what? I was like, let's go with JJ Redick haircut. So I showed my barber the JJ Redick haircut. That's it. So since then, I've had the JJ Redick do.
Oh yeah,
or her variation of it, I guess. But that's the way I went with it. Hey, you're a Duke guy, so JJ Redick.
JJ Redick, man. Yeah, absolutely. We're rolling with it. We say what's up real quick to the people who's in the chat tonight before we go ahead and get rolling, if that's cool. All right. So this going on, Chief of 65 points. Andre Chenault, welcome. Good evening. Andre, I know you're ready. The girls ready. I know you're going to have them ready. Charles Driver, good to see you. My man, Greg Rose, what's happening? Mike Brennan is in here. Dungeon playoff version. Yes, sir. We're going to have it nice, hot, and tight faded is what it's going to be happening there. Zach Devlin, good to see you. Steve Dunn. Family member, somebody like that. Oh, good to see you. Ray028, Drew Brewski is in here in the house. Lego My Ego is here. So we got Double A as well. So that's right there. The shout we giving out right now. So let's go ahead, man, and bring our guy of the hour on the show. And we're going to get out there, man, and start talking a little bit.
Let's do it. Just to give you guys kind of a rundown of the episode tonight. So Darren will be coming on. JD will then be doing his keys to victory. And then Darren and we'll be kind of discuss what JD's keys to victory are for this game tomorrow. And then Teja will come and replace Darren for the betting aspect of things. Then we'll get and then after that, one last sleep till the big dance tomorrow. So that's it. So you guys watch this and then go to sleep right after this, and you got game day. So that's how we're rocking tonight, JD.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
All right. So now we're gonna bring Darren Smith on. Darren, what's up, buddy? How you doing, Darren?
Hey, gentlemen. Thank you so very much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to talk ball with you all.
Yeah, man. Look, we look at this as an honor and a privilege, my brother. Because you do such a great job. You're one of the guys that I follow on Twitter, getting the information, the way you come in and talk to the guys. I know they appreciate you when you're in there. When I see you doing your work, your interviews and stuff, I can tell that you're doing real leg work. You know what I'm saying? like
I appreciate
guys when I was in the locker room that I would appreciate. Okay, because you ain't just going out for the typical kind of stars and stuff like that. You getting other guys like, hey man, come here, like your voice need to be heard. When I hear about you, some of those unsung heroes is what I love about it. And so, my brother, I just want to commend you on the work that you've been doing and continue to do. And so I know we kind of talked about a little bit before then that you're going to be very busy these next few weeks, obviously getting the Chiefs down there when they're going to be down in New Orleans with you as well. So get some of that confetti, man, when you get finished with everything, all right? So you can just throw it on out. And then
It's funny. I got some in storage, my apartment complex from Miami.
okay.
I got some from there. I got some from the other two Super Bowls, and from KU when they won a national title down in New Orleans at the same stadium. But it's funny you said about the interviews because I'll tell you a little secret, and
right.
And I know people gonna turn around and watch it and try to share with the other reporters, but it doesn't matter because I got the secret sauce. But that being said, when we're in the locker room, especially at home, on the road it's a little bit easier because there's not as many media that travel that cover the visiting team, and so. But when we're in the locker, when they open up the locker room, I'm generally the first person in line and the first person to get into the locker room. So what'll happen is everybody will try to run to whoever had a big game if they're not going to the podium. So they'll try to run to Travis or one of the wide receivers. So when everybody's over here on this side, I go to the defensive side. When everybody tries to go to the defensive side, I'm on the offensive side. So I'm on the opposite. But then what'll happen is, I'll get the one-on-one. And so what'll happen is everybody will try to come swarm over so they can try to get some sound. But the thing is, I'm on camera with the players. So, you're not going to interrupt what I got going on because you're going to get that evil eye. You're going to, or I'm going to say something. But, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you're not going to interrupt. So, and the players going to talk to me, finish out my Q&A. And if they want to talk to somebody else, they can because what they, what some, especially the defensive players, what they like is that they know if they talk to me, that technically fulfills their obligation. They don't have to talk to nobody else if they don't want to. You just have to talk to one, just a media member after the game. You have to make yourself available, and then you can be, you can bounce. So, like sometimes Trent will be like, D, come on, let's hurry up and do this. I do it, and they out the door. They out the back door. So, and when we're on the road, again, when we're on the road, it's real easy. But I used to just, set the thing up and talk to the person one-on-one, but then somebody would try to cut in. And somebody tried that, I think, at the beginning of the season, and I cut up my eyes something fierce, like, hey, bro, this ain't that kind of party. And then I went to, because I was talking to George Karloftis, and I'm going to just call him out, Todd Palmer from Channel 41, try to cut in on the question. Like, I don't, bro, this ain't, whoa, it ain't that kind of party. Yeah. Then I ended up talking to Justin. He tried to, and when I was talking to Justin, I looked at him like, you better ain't try it. But that was when I wasn't on camera. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do the Josina Anderson thing where she would always do one-on-one. So, and the Chiefs ain't said nothing to me about it. So I'll set it up, and I'm talking to the players home on the road, and they just gotta wait. They just wait. So, so that's my story. And plus, when you talk about DeJuan, the reason I got the hat on because I'm not going to unveil the hair. I had to go see DeJuan this morning. He texted me, said, "Man, you need to come see me this morning because you talk about haircuts." And I had like an afro because I had to have my haircut since the last time he cut it, which was before Christmas because I didn't have to travel to Pittsburgh or Denver. So I was like, I'm gonna just chill. And I had been, and my hair was looking bad. So he said, "Man, you need to come out here. Be out here at 9 o'clock." I was out there at 8:30. So he was like, he sat me down, saying, got me clean and everything.
Yeah.
But we were kind of talking about, your situation, barbers and players, and he was telling me how some of the players, a couple of players want him to come make a house call.
Yeah.
He's, he was like, he had to, he said, "Man, I ain't gotta do that no more." He said, "I'll do it for Patrick and a couple others," but he said, "Man, I'm not just doing that." But I say all that to say that what helps is that because I've been with DeJuan since like 2005. So I've been with him longer than any player except for maybe Kelsey. I've been there even longer than Kelsey. So it's like most of the players, they start out with DeJuan. So, and DeJuan knows, he been knowing what I do. So he'll tell the players, "Hey, my guy Darren, he covers the Chiefs, he covers the Royals. If he comes to you, you need to talk to him. That's my guy."
Yeah,
that's all and he vouched. And then when they come and do the work and stuff, you're like, "Oh yeah, oh you are good, you are cool." And so when other players come in, you're like, "Yo, this guy, he's good. You can talk to him." And so that has helped. That has definitely helped. My work is one thing, but it doesn't hurt to have get an assist from someone like DeJuan.
Well, you need, sometimes it's just that connection, because sometimes when who's the people that you go to, right? We all know this, and sometimes that you're bearing your soul to, and you're having a conversation with, it's your barber, right?
Yeah.
He'll sit back, he'll ask you how your day is going, your life is going, your family, all those different things, and so they're more personable with you and everybody else that sometimes the players don't necessarily know. And so
Well,
if you
and
get
then also at times I'm at the barbershop while they out there, so we just
right.
we're
So
going to
it's
the
everybody's
barbershop,
vibing.
stay in the barbershop. We don't,
Yeah. So everybody's vibing with it. Yeah. So yeah, shout out, man, to Dewan for sure, man, getting everybody right. You know what I mean? For sure.
And I would be in the suit for you all for the occasion, but I got it hanging up for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I got the new suit for tomorrow. So
Hey man, you do your thing.
Folk gotta
Hey,
wait
listen,
for that.
yeah. Hey, this right here, man, is as comfortable as possible. All right.
Works
You
for
good.
me.
You look good, man, in here. Okay. So you
Works for
right,
me.
right on point with it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
You got the red on. That's all that matters, baby.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Shout out to Ollie Gates too. I'm KC. I gotta always represent my guy Ollie Gates too.
Okay. Shout out to him. Shout out to the Gates. Here we go. So we're gonna get into this thing, man. Asking some questions. Seeing what some of the things that came out today. All right. We were talking on our show on Wednesday about who started. I'm gonna ask this question first about who's gonna be starting at left tackle. Right. That was one of the big things that was coming out because we know how good of a defense, pass rush wise, that the Texans have. Okay, they have a very good defense, top to bottom. Okay, front seven, back four, we know what they do. All right, D'Amico has them playing at a high level, very good. Now, the contention was, well, is it going to be DJ Humphries or is Joe Tooney going to continue what he's been doing for the past couple of weeks when he came in when DJ Humphries got hurt and Mike Caliendo still playing left guard. So I talked on Wednesday, was saying that, look, if coach sees that DJ Humphries healthy, he sees he's getting enough out of him, what he perceives is good reps, then he'll make that decision. But I thought going with DJ Humphrey would be the way to go, right? So for me, as just a player, as an offensive position coach, O-line coach, I know how hard the technique is blocking guys, in the NFL. Like, you got to have your stuff straight. You got to be right. It can't be no ambiguity whatsoever. Like, you either got to go with the iron hand or you got to go with the guy that you feel is right there. And to be honest with you, it's being said, okay, that Joe's going to be the guy, right?
Mhm.
I said that DJ Humphrey, because of his body of work, because he is a starting left tackle in this league, has been a Pro Bowler. He's very capable to play that position. As long as he's healthy and all those different things, I thought that might have been the way to go. But Andy knows things, and I trust Andy, obviously, with his decision. Those guys know better than anybody else. So kind of give us like a little bit of insight, what you heard or what you felt and what you've seen kind of in the thing, if you will.
The biggest thing, and I believe the reason why Andy's going with Tooney is because of what he saw in that game against Houston when he had to step up. I believe it was the following week after I can't remember. Yeah, that was before. No, Cleveland was. Yeah, Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland. Okay, yeah, Cleveland was before. So I think
Okay.
so. I believe Tooney got. I think Tooney played left tackle in Cleveland and then turned around and did that. But you got to remember, he didn't give up any sacks that game against that pass rush of the Houston Texans. So I think that weighed a lot in the decision. You got a chance. I think Humphreys played in 94% of the snaps against Denver. I mean, he still kind of gave us some sacks or whatever. And not putting the blame on him, but I just think for Patrick's comfort and this is a game and plus you got to remember what they did last week against the Chargers and Joe Alden and some of those players, they had a pretty decent offensive line and protection for them, and but then the way they were able to get pressure and get some sacks on them. I think Andy's just doing it out of an abundance of caution, and this is the playoffs. You don't want to take any chances. I think the last couple of games that Tooney started, he didn't give up any sacks. So it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And
Yeah.
and look, you can look if the situation calls for it, you can always bring Caliendo out, move him back down, and bring Humphreys in. And I do expect some rotation to go on because, I mean, and Tooney is the ultimate professional to where, the fact that he can just move, over without any reservation and not give up sacks. I mean, remember now, he went up against Myles Garrett, didn't give up any sacks. I mean, did not give up any sacks to Myles Garrett. And then the following week against, Will Anderson, them did not give up any sacks. So that goes a long way. And, and look at it. And as we talk about, and from being a former player, what you see on film. And so, being when you're, when they went looking at the film of what they just did 4 weeks ago against the Texans, it's like, okay, I mean, you can always bring DJ back and put him at left tackle against Baltimore or Buffalo, what I'm saying? But let's get through this game because we know what Tooney did just 4 weeks ago. Let's get through this game, then we'll go, I mean, because you still got to justify, paying Humphreys the money that that you're giving him for the small amount of games that you expect to be played. So the best way to do it is, ease them back in because again, they're gonna come with the pressure tomorrow. And so, for somebody who's coming off of the injury that he's coming off of, no sense in putting too much stress on it. Let's let Tooney do his thing. If Tooney for some reason has some problems, you can always just move him inside and put Tooney on, put Tooney next to him.
Right. And I think one of the things that some of the concerns was the running game may be suffering a little bit because of Caliendo. Now, I will say this. I don't know if it's the correlation of it. I myself believe still that we need to run the football a little bit more than what we have. Me watching the film, if Caliendo's done a good job in the run game too. I've seen some good fits with him and Tooney coming off, going up to the linebacker. But like I said before, we're going to have some real dudes that we're going to be going against, obviously, in the playoffs, this game right here, what they're going to be able to see. And like you said, we still have a luxury if it comes down to it. Let's just say that we're blowing him out, or if he's like, hey, look, you know what, I'll make a switch up right now. You could bring DJ Humphreys in, especially if you're thinking about, okay, you got the Ravens or the Bills, whoever it may be, coming into that and then the Super Bowl. You want to still get him some reps, right? You want to get him some live. That's what it is. The live reps is what really counts. And so obviously you saying that about, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that, and I don't believe that Andy's going to show his entire arsenal tomorrow because of who they might play next week. I think that they're confident enough that they feel like they're going to win, and I think a lot of us believe that they're going to win. And so, again, just like you said, you can do that. Now, as it relates to the run game, to me, I think if you're going to run to the right side, kind of protect, Jawan a little bit, saying as it relates to, worried about his holding or his false starts, whatever. If you send the run that way, now you get an angry Trey Smith that gets to run out there and hit somebody. If you're running to his side, he's been known to not only open up some holes but put some people on their ass. And so, talking to him, I mean, he wants to run the football, and that's a good excuse, if you're him to go hit somebody.
Yeah, well, I think, man, to be honest, I think you have to definitely run the football, and I do agree with you. But it's the same thing on the left side too, right? So my thing is, if you're passing the ball 40 times, okay, you're giving the defense what they want, especially very effective, good pass rushers, okay, that we see in Anderson and Hunter and those guys. Shoot, they're salivating because the guys retreating all the time and trying to catch. And we even had to say this: Joe Tooney has not been perfect at left tackle. He's done a great job. He's been an amazing job. Like, for a guy to go from left guard to left tackle and play the high level he's done, I mean, we can't say enough about him. Not at all. Not at all. But you don't want to put him in a position where he's constantly sitting back there and catching and things of that nature, because it's just a matter of time. Especially with pass rushers, they're thinking it's just a matter of time. If you're sitting over here throwing the ball 40 or 50 times a game, we're going to get back there some way, somehow. And part of it, when you have a guy like Caliendo, who doesn't have as much experience as Joe, a lot of twists, spiking, and those different things changes things, especially against, a guy like that and Caliendo does a great job. And I'm not taking anything away from him at all. So I'm not using it as a disparaging way. I'm just saying that when you do have the spiking and whatnot and the twist, the reason you do it is because you try to get guys at different levels. Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like you, I'm someone who believes run the football. This is playoff football because trust me, we're gonna see them running the football Sunday night in that game with Buffalo and Baltimore. And you know, if they're smart, that's what they're gonna do if Kansas City gets past Houston. We all agree that they should win, but I still like to, I just don't want to. I don't want to disrespect Houston because they still made it this far.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, they're going to come to Arrowhead and run the football to keep Patrick on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that concerns me about the Chiefs when they play is the play calling, because a lot of times they like to be too cute by half, and it infuriates me in the press box. I can't remember which game it is. It could have been the Chargers. It could have been the game before that with the Raiders. But no, it was the Chargers. It was a Sunday Night Football game. Coming out to half, Chargers had the ball. They had the punt. Chiefs got the ball near midfield. It was 1st and 10. They gave the ball to Pacheco. He ran for 6 yards. It was 2nd and 4. He ran the ball. He got 3 yards. It was 3rd and 1. Instead of running the football to get the first down, to extend the drive, they had Patrick dropping back to pass, and he threw an incomplete pass. They had to turn around and punt. Stuff like that is it's fundamental. Why would you do that? And so for me, it's going to be the play call and I'm always about putting your players in the right position to succeed. Now,
that's right.
If it was 3rd and 4, and the tight end or Travis or somebody ran 2 yards instead of 4 yards to get the first down, that's an issue I'd have with the players, which I can't. I can never understand. You know how many yards you need. Why are you running short of the sticks? I'll never understand that. But for me, that is truly my only concern when it comes to this game is Nagy, Andy just being too cute, trying to, just sometimes just fun, just get the damn first down, extend the drive. If you're gonna do something cute, do it on first down when they may not be expected. Don't do it on 3rd and when you got just extend the drive. We know you're not going to do a quarterback sneak, but just get the first down and then extend the drive and do. You don't. So that is my really only concern when it's not going to be Joe Tooney blocking it. Now for me, it's going to be the number, like you said, the number of passes that because Andy can't help himself, but I also think the biggest thing for me that I look at when I look at this game is I just got to see how Houston puts up enough points, because I thought of Nico Collins, and I know the Chiefs kind of have trouble with the tight end, but Dalton Schultz, unless Dalton Schultz somehow turns into a younger Travis Kelce and just tears up the defense, I don't see how they have enough weapons to put points up, put enough points on the board to beat the Chiefs unless the defense somehow turns Patrick Mahomes into Justin Herbert tomorrow. I just don't see it.
Yeah, well, I think that's really kind of what you're contending with, honestly. Because we know that to me, same thing, that the Chiefs are not a conventional calling kind of team. They're gonna do what they want to do. They're gonna run their stuff they want to run. And so
arrogant about
frustrating
that.
the arrogance, arrogance and confidence, right? I always say there's a thin line between confidence and arrogance. And so some of
confidence.
Well, the confidence is they feel like, well, we could do anything, right? We could make any play happen because we got the guys and the pieces on the field to make it work. But I'm right there with you. Because sometimes the practical thing is 3rd and 1, man, shoot, put guys on it. Let's road grade them. How about we go ahead right up the gut? Kareem Hunt, if he has to be the back to come in as opposed to, Pacheco, a smaller back, shoot, utilize him.
And which is great, again, when you've got, I know he's going to play left tackle, but if you decide to move him over, if you got Tooney, Creed, and Smith on 3rd and 1, 3rd and short, 4th and inches.
Yeah, right. Hey, man, where we going? Hey, we running right here. A gap, B gap. That's what it is. Stop us. How about that? And we just saying what we're going to do is we're going to bloody your nose up and run it straight down your throats. So
and now
I know
Oh, I'm
Mark's got a
sorry.
question for you.
Oh, okay. I'll let him have. But I want to throw a question to you right quick. If
Yeah.
you're Andy or Matt, and even if it's in the first quarter, if it's
Mhm.
4th and 1, are you going for it?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. I mean, it's early enough in the game that you can make up anything, any bad decision that you
Depending on where you're
make.
at on the field, but yeah.
Sure, right. You know, you don't want to be backed up like
Yeah.
in your own. You know, obviously, if you midfield, I don't think it makes too much of a difference because of the thing that you made before. The point of saying, well, do they have enough up front to score points? Is Joe Mixon, Schultz, and Nico Collins going to be it? I don't think so either. So, you know, Mitch he ain't gonna do nothing. So I think that's one thing that you have to look in as far as it goes into your decision making. So.
Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I gotta say the Deontay Johnson, all that stuff that happened in the locker room after the game. He had a royal opportunity to get some playing time this week, and he had to go up and get pissed off after the game last week with Robert Woods potentially being out. I mean, they probably would have gone to him a little bit more this week. You know, playing time was a big thing for him. But my question is, I know big news this week was Jalen Watson. He's probably gonna be coming back tomorrow and playing, starting.
He'll be starting.
And so, which is great news. And obviously, we picked up Steven Nelson a few weeks back. This is kind of a revenge game for him of sorts. We haven't seen him at all, and we kind of thought that at some point we'd be seeing him. Is there any indication from what you're hearing, what you're seeing, that we'll ever see Steven Nelson play for us this year?
Yes, whether it's tomorrow, won't know till we get to the stadium because they have up until 90 minutes before the game to put out the inactives or whatever. So I'm not sure whether, because I know they brought a couple of players up that's going to go back to the practice squad after the game, but I know his name wasn't one of them. So, but it is possible that he could be active for tomorrow's game. But again, I won't know till I get to the stadium tomorrow when they put out the inactives and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Has he been getting a lot of reps in practice?
Yes.
How's his work look out there?
Oh, he's been fine. You know, he had to get back in the game suit, but I mean, he's game shape, but he's fine. I mean, just like Kareem and them, which is to you all's point, we are kind of shocked that he has not been brought up to the active, because usually how the Chiefs were doing it this year, they would sign a player, let him spend a week on the practice squad, and then elevate him to the 53-man roster the following, which is what they did with Uche and Kareem Hunt and basically everybody, that even D-Hop, you know, they did the same thing with him. So it is a little surprising, but, you know, like I said, but I do expect that we'll see him throughout the playoffs.
Okay.
That's good news.
If Jalen Watson wasn't coming back tomorrow, if he wasn't playing tomorrow, then I would have said that yes, you know, we would definitely be seeing him.
Yeah, I was going to say that was kind of like the safe bet, like having a guy like him, right? You know, in the waiting just in case, you know, Jalen didn't come back and say, hey, look, we want to utilize a guy who's actually going against his old team. Okay, who knows a lot of the guys who've gone against the guys that's going out there to go play. He knows the tendencies, the technique, what they're thinking. He knows how to defend the guys, especially the wide receivers. So I think that's vital information just to have him in the building, in the room in itself, not just his talent, but also too his knowledge.
I would also say it says a lot about Jalen Watson getting back up to speed and getting back healthy to be able to start, to where it's not a rush for the Chiefs to elevate him because of what you're able to do with Watson and McDuffie on both sides of the field. Now that you've got Watson back, now Spags can kind of go back to that defense where they were, you know, number two, you know, early on in the season before he got hurt, like one of the top 2 defensive teams in the league. I mean, they're top 10 right now. But you know, but getting him back and getting him ready to go for the playoffs again, you know, he's damn near a shutdown corner, and you put him, you know, against, you know, that matchup. I don't know if it's going to be Trent, if it's going to be Nico, if it's going to be Trent, if it's going to be Jalen, but you know, that matchup to watch is going to be with Nico Collins. So if Nico Collins gets shut down again, I turn around and ask the question: who's going to put points on the board for him?
Yeah.
Which is why I only got Joe Mixon for 25 yards.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Well, look, if you don't play, it gets voided. But he's the only player I've got for Houston on my parlay slip.
Yeah, you have 25 yards for him.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if he even plays.
Hey, if he don't play,
how much he does play. If he does,
If you, well, I think he'll. I mean, they did bring up a running back, I think, from their practice squad. But look, if he plays, get 25 yards. If he plays. If not, then they just void it and I move on. So
there you go.
I can live with that too.
Yeah, the combination of Damian Pierce and Agabawale and also Mixon. So they have a few guys, but obviously Mixon when he's healthy is a different animal.
Yeah, and I guess he must have tweaked his ankle or Wednesday because he was limited and then he didn't practice at all yesterday. So, but they had him listed as questionable, so they didn't downgrade him to doubtful. So I do expect him to. I mean, honestly, I expect him to take a shot, do whatever it takes to put it in his ankle or whatever, so he can be ready to play tomorrow.
So, one thing I wanted to talk to you about, okay,
Mhm.
because we're hearing so much, all right, in the media, okay, the analysts out here, the national news, who are picking upsets and all these different things going to happen, and I hear different guys bumping their gums. It's a lot of,
you're about to make me mad.
yeah, man. A lot of lips out there, man, chopping it out, man, just saying whatever they want to say. One of them, I'm gonna go ahead and call his name out, is Emmanuel Acho. Acho sitting over here talking about, man, the Chiefs wide receiver can't beat their DBs.
Yeah, I called him out yesterday. He actually responded. I was like,
oh, okay. What was the response on that?
Well, he was showing a video. It was like a 4-minute video. I think, like you said, the Chiefs wide receivers against the Texans defenders. I'm like, bro, you sitting there capping, talking about you're not even picking the Texans to win, but you're making it seem like the Chiefs supposed to have issues. Like they just played this team 4 weeks ago. Like, do you not think Andy Reid and Spags and Nagy have been watching film and you think that you're pointing out something that they don't have, they don't know? I mean, and I was like, dude, you need to quit capping. He's like, no, this ain't cap. This is just tape that I'm pointing out for the fans. Like, bro, like, I get it, like literally 3 weeks ago, he's talking about, I guess when the Chiefs did something, it could have been against Texas, it could have been against Pittsburgh, but he was all on, the Chiefs. Jock, I can't say how this team gets beaten. All of a sudden, the Chiefs, the Chiefs should be concerned. Like, what? Like, dude, like, so for me, it's like between he and Dan Orlovsky, like, man, they just say stuff for engagement, man. And sometimes we bite the bullet, but, as somebody who grew up in this business, man, and old school, it just pisses me off, man, because it's like, man, you ain't got a cap. You can do your job and by pointing out stuff, but you don't have to just be just trying to go the extra mile, because when it came time to the picks this evening or this morning, he's going last like he was really going to pick against the Chiefs because he was talking about all what what the defense is going to do, and like, dude, come on, stop it, man. And he ended up picking the Chiefs anyway. Like, see, you do all this stuff for cap. So stuff like that pisses me off because it gives fans upset at the media because it's like you're not being honest, you're not being true. I mean, Jason McCourty, wants to be the only guy on Get Up picking the picking the Texans. Which again, if you truly believe it, I ain't got a problem with that. But I know you can't, man. That's just part that I just
stand on it.
Because what'll happen come Monday, everybody talk about, the Chiefs, the Chiefs have finally showed up, and even if the Chiefs win 27-13 or 27-20, the Chiefs, they the Texans were just overmatched, and come on, man, I don't need all that. It drives me crazy. It just, for me, it just gives me something to watch during the day to make my day go by. But man, it just drives me crazy sometimes when I see this stuff.
Well, here's the thing. You said he did a 4-minute clip. I didn't see any of that. I just heard him just saying that they couldn't beat him. I said this, man. So I'll say to that, the 4-minute clip doesn't really show the entire 60 minutes of the game, because the last time I checked, I'm looking at the Xavier Worth had 7 for 65, Hollywood Brown 5 for 45, DeAndre Hopkins 4 for 37, Travis Kelce 5 for 30. I mean, guys are eating. And the thing is, Pat missed on 3 big ones. went through Jalen Watson's, Justin Watson's hands. Hollywood Brown was up on the sideline, caught one with Xavier Worthy on the sideline. If he just stays and keeps the area, a little bit on the sideline, that's a touchdown. That's a tub. So I'm sitting there thinking like, yo, we was beating those guys left to right. And I'm not even talking about the one he said he talked on the back, the backup cornerback that D-Hop caught. I'm talking about all the speedsters that's out there, right? The Texas Road Runner in Xavier Worthy. What else do they have for that? And I'm sitting there thinking, is this selective memory? And obviously, like you said, look, I think these guys not really standing on business. They don't really believe that. They don't believe that.
They just want to be. They want to be that person that if the Chiefs somehow lose, oh, I called it. Oh, like this week, Archer was talking about. He was the first to talk about Justin Herbert not being there. I'm like, they say,
really?
where the hell you been? I'm like, I've been on this dude since day one. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, my boss at the radio station gets pissed at me. Like, man, you need to go talk. I'm like, he's not as good as Mahomes or these other quarterbacks. Y'all keep talking about this dude is top five. Top five has to equate to wins. Like, stop this. Stop, right. And I get pissed when people start trying to compare everybody to like literally the only player that is on the level of Mahomes, you know what I'm saying, in terms, well, there's two players in terms of status is Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson. Aaron Rodgers, because of his longevity, he has a Super Bowl and he has 4 MVPs. Lamar's got 2 MVPs. That stuff matters. Right. That stuff matters because you've proven to be the best in the league. So I have to give respect to that. But I'm just not going to just elevate Josh Allen because he had 13 seconds he lost. And then Joe Burrow comes in one game where Patrick has a meltdown in the second half, which allows Cincinnati to win the game. I can't do that just off of 1 or 2 games with these players and put them in the same category as Mahomes because there's levels to this. I'm sorry, man.
That's right.
Woosah.
You're good, man.
Yeah. Listen, look.
So we cutting promos and stuff.
Damn, man. Hey, you good over here. So what I'm gonna do, man, Derek? I'm gonna leave y'all talking about this, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to put my segment in and stuff like that, man. Go ahead and ask Darren some more, okay? Come back and bring some little bit fire, man, because you got me some material that I'm thinking about right now. So, okay, all right,
sounds good.
So I appreciate it, man. I'll see y'all in a few.
Yep.
Okay,
to the other side, JD. All right, JD's getting set up for his keys to victory. Darren, we got a comment in here from Jacob Donabauer. Appreciate the contribution, Jacob. Confident in this line due to familiarity of playing together against Texans just last month. Texans D line probably the most dominant out of remaining other teams.
Well, no, I still got more respect for Buffalo along with Baltimore. Look, Buffalo, because you still got Von Miller. I mean, he might be a little bit agey. Von Miller still comes up when it matters most. And he has gotten to Patrick in the 2 games or the last 2 or 3 games that the Bills have played against the Chiefs. And look, man, Baltimore's D line, they're always aggressive. Again, much as I respect the D line, what they do, they're young, and they're young has a lot of being young has a lot of energy. But the experience factor, I got to go with the other 2 teams on the other side, and then no telling who we gonna see in the Super Bowl. Could be now. Granted, Detroit kind of hampered, but Philly, I don't know, man. Them young boys is they eating over there, so I can't say that they're the most dominant out of the remaining teams.
Yeah, I will say as far as the experience factor, yeah, I do. I'll give it to you with Buffalo, Baltimore, and on the other side. But I mean, they do have depth for days, though. They do have depth, though. Autry and Settle and Hunter and Anderson. So they got guys who can keep coming at you all night long. I mean, but yeah, as far as a veteran experience aspect, yeah, I would take the other teams over them, especially in the playoffs.
And I do like Will Anderson. I mean, I think he's going to be a great player from Alabama. I think he's going to come be in the mode of a Von Miller and Derek Thomas. With time, I think he's going to be up there.
Stud, yeah. How do you see? So obviously Hopkins now it's over. We aren't conveying a fourth round pick for him now. So how much playing time you see him getting tomorrow and just beyond the playoffs? I feel like we trade for him for this period.
The fourth round? I thought it was the fifth round. I thought it was fifth round for the regular season, or does it?
It was.
Well,
it'll
increase if they get Super Bowl. So yeah, it'll be the fourth round.
Yeah. Well, no, I believe it had to be over. Was it over 40%, over 50% of snap, over 60% of snaps, and getting to the Super Bowl, and that both had to convey in order to get the fourth round. So now it's just gonna be a fifth round pick.
Yeah, because you said fourth. So I was like, he didn't play 60%.
Yeah, no.
Their last game, so
exactly. Yeah. So now that's out of the picture. Doesn't matter how much we play him. Do you think we'll see him big time, like pretty much a lot more than we saw him during the regular season?
Oh yeah. Because he and Hollywood, they're not going to be on a pitch count. I mean, again, you only got three, hopefully 3 games left, so you got to leave everything out there on the field. If you're, this is the one thing, man, I'm telling you that I have tried to convey to people over the last few weeks on why, especially on our show, which for me, if they were, especially they would lose tomorrow, but we're not going to go in that direction. But you think about what this Chiefs team looked like at the beginning of training camp. We were just thinking about Pacheco, Travis Kelce. Let's say Noah Gray because he's out of the extension, so I'll give him that respect. And then you're looking at Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, and Xavier Worthy. Okay. Now you've got Rashee Rice, who was out ended up being out for the season. You had Hollywood, who was out for the majority of the season. People didn't know whether he was going to come back or not this season, and we lost Pacheco for a huge chunk of the season. So what did the Chiefs do? I don't know. Yeah, forgive me because I get older as the days go by. But I can't remember if we signed P. Ryan in the preseason or in the offseason or during the season. But
it was after week 3 of preseason.
Okay. So we assigned him, so he was cool. So he was already. But you look at the fact that we brought back Kareem Hunt. I was the biggest cheerleader for that. I was so happy for that. And then I knew once Hollywood went down, I knew that we were gonna go after Juju. He just had to pass the physical. I already knew about that, but before it happened. And then when Rashee went down, we were able to acquire DeAndre Hopkins. So those are those 3 players that we ended up getting, and we got 2 of them back. We got Hollywood back, and we also got Pacheco back on top of the other talent that we already had. So imagine that. So the offense that we were looking at for it to be explosive. Now it should be explosive on steroids and HGH, because again, now you got 2 players on the outside and Brown and Worthy with the speed. You stretch the field. Who you gonna double? So you got them stretching the field, and then you have D-Hop. You got Travis Kelce that can go underneath along with Juju if he's out there on the field, and then push come to shove, you've got both Pacheco, and you got both Hunt, and of course, when Noah Gray. So they have a plethora of weapons. I've said on our radar show that the Chiefs should not be punting the rest of this postseason. We shouldn't be seeing Matt Ariza out there on the field.
Nope.
I said every time the Chiefs are on the field, they should be having 3 or 7, preferably 7, of course. But you know what I'm saying? But they should never not come away without a score, because if that's the case, then Andy and Matt Nagy aren't doing something right when it comes to the play calling, or Patrick Mahomes is just missing throws. Now, if he has enough time and he misses throws, and that's the conversation that we'll have with Patrick after the game, but hopefully win. But no, I mean, to me, that's why I go back to the question that I have about the Texans. Where are they going to get these points from? I mean, the Chiefs, literally, again, when they come out there, preferably I would like for them to score on an opening drive. I think, if they win the coin toss, they'll obviously defer. And if the defense holds, then, they'll get the ball. And hopefully whatever rust, that they have, they get it out that opening drive, but still end up with some points. But when it comes to the players, yeah, someone said D-Hop should be going, but it's D-Hop along with Charles Omenihu and some of the other players that, even just, going up against their former team, I expect big games from them. But, yeah, it's truly hard for me when I look at this team. And the biggest thing is I think well, I was talking to Jason earlier in the day, but when people were talking about the Chiefs being off for essentially 3 weeks, 4 weeks, they don't understand. The majority of these Chiefs players have played in extended games over the last 2-3 seasons.
Yeah.
Or such as Patrick, Travis, Chris, they have played literally an extra season worth of postseason games. And they had their bye week after week 6. And they played 3 games within 11 days. For them to be able to clinch like they did against Pittsburgh and not have to worry about playing in Denver and then having a bye week, that is priceless. Not only that, it's one thing if you're a defending Super Bowl champion, but it's another when you're a two-time defending Super Bowl champion and you're trying to go for a three-peat, and you are everybody's Super Bowl week in and week out, where you have to play at your highest level every single week. It's one thing you're physically exhausted, but also mentally taxing as well and exhausting as well. So for them to be 15-1, 15-2, where they earn that bye week and taking most of the players and having to sit out against Denver and then having all week off, trust me when I tell you, it's going to translate on the field come Saturday.
Yeah, it's definitely the norm for them, right? Having some, I mean, I think we went 2 weeks.
Well, not that much time, but yeah.
No, for sure. But I'm saying
time was beneficial. Which, man, when I tell you, everybody's going, people are going to think that they're going to come out slow, and I don't think that's going to happen because Andy Reid ramps up, with the practice and stuff. So they'll be good to go when it comes to the opening drive. But I'm just saying, from a mental and physical standpoint, being 15-2, getting the number 1 seed and not having to worry about playing in week 18, priceless.
No, exactly. The norm I'm talking about is playing in that playoff atmosphere because like you said, every team does treat the Chiefs like it's a Super Bowl every time they play them on Sundays or Mondays or whatever it is. You got a chance to speak with Kareem Hunt. I know but you mentioned him earlier. He's been one of the stories of the year for us. And man, you can make the argument without Kareem Hunt, will we've won some of those games? I don't know. You got to talk to him. And I know if anyone's ever seen the video, the dash cam video of when he got pulled over the year we went to the Super Bowl, and he even mentions that while he's crying, he's talking about how he had to watch his team, has to watch his team play in the Super Bowl. And this is going to be his first playoffs with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And
it's first with Patrick starting, but they were on the same team in 17.
Right. With Patrick starting, with Patrick being his guy. How much do you get a sense this is like, this obviously means the world, being the playoffs, but this whole season, how much do you anticipate Kareem's going to give to us in this playoffs? I feel like he's going to give us all these next 3 weeks.
He was doing that during the regular season, man.
I know.
But to your point, man, it's funny, man. Literally every time I see him, it's like, man, I'm so glad you're back. He's like, D, I know you keep telling me. Well, I don't come and tell you every game, And I said it because I know from seeing him and the emotion that came out, I know what it meant for him to not be on the team and not because he knows, or he feels the same way that I feel, that if the Chiefs don't cut him, and he's in that backfield against New England, Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl in Patrick's first year starting, and they have a rematch against the Rams in the greatest show on turf in Atlanta. I don't have no doubt in my mind, and I think if Kareem is on that team, the Chiefs probably would have already three-peated by now. The Chiefs would be working, and I'm not being capital. I'm not making a hot take. That's just how good the offense was good enough to offset how bad that defense was. They literally that year, and I joke about it. I was joking about it when I was in Cleveland. That year, the Chiefs had the number 1 offense and the number 31 ranked defense, and the team that was ranked 32 was Cleveland. Well, last year, Cleveland had the number 1 defense, and the Chiefs had the number 2 defense in the league last year when they went on their Super Bowl run. So it's just amazing just how things. And look, and we always said after that 2018, you give Patrick an average defense with that offense, they'll be Super Bowl champions. We saw what happened the next year. You brought in Spags, and we've seen over the last couple of years, and even the year that they lost to Tampa Bay, it was just their offensive line was decimated. The Chiefs' defense has been top 10, top 15, top 3, under Spags, and so along with the offense at the time under Bieniemy, they had the top 2, top 3 offense under Bieniemy, and then Spags is not Spags, but Nagy and Reed, doing what they've done the last couple of years. Well, they had the number 1 offense 2 years ago, and it was average last year. But the fact that they were able to keep going back to the Super Bowl is just a big testament to what we've seen.
Yeah, and last year, different team, obviously, but when we got to the playoffs, you saw a whole hell. It was probably the biggest stretch. Actually, it was his biggest stretch of games where he got the most totes for Pacheco. And obviously, we saw Kelsey come to life last playoffs as well. How do you anticipate the offense kind of looking? Do you anticipate kind of what we saw last year, where it was more like he had 20 carries with Pacheco, obviously with Kareem Hunt there, and has to change a little bit. But how do you see the kind of offense going? Do you see it a commitment to the run, or is it going to be more of testing out the weapons we got?
Oh, it's gonna be the way. I mean, they still gonna throw the damn football. This is the end we're talking about now. I in my heart of hearts, I just believe that they'll run when they know they need to run the football. And look, and for me, if it means a big play where they can throw the football and get a touchdown, if they're up a couple of touchdowns or whatever, I do believe that they will kind of run the football to kind of kill the clock some so they don't put themselves in. And plus, here's the thing: you have to run the football because you got to give your defense a chance to get some rest. So I believe that they will have a commitment to run the football, but it's going to be within the scheme of the game. And so again, if they can get a big play and get some points or whatever, cool. And if the defense can turn around and force a turnover, pick six, or scoop and score, something like that, where they add points to the board, that just helps them out. Then you'll see the Chiefs, because they had a big play like that. Well, if they scoop and score, they got to come back out there on the field. But but if the Chiefs do, get on offense and they're up a couple of scores, I do expect them to kind of help the defense out and not putting them right back out there and just, run the standard offense to where you can kind of extend the drive some and take 5-6 minutes off the game clock so the players get a chance to rest, because you want them at their best to make sure that because what'll happen is you get up a couple of scores, you're going to force Houston to start throwing the football. You definitely don't want them, being out of breath because you keep scoring too quickly.
Yeah. Also, too, one of the factors in this game, which is something that I read a whole article about, how Kelsey, depending on obviously we all hope that we go 3 games into this playoff run, but Kelsey's very, very close to Jerry Rice in some of those records, man. He's inching closer and closer and closer. And we're talking about records that probably never get broken, I would say. I mean, obviously, you never say never, but I mean, Jerry's had those records since the early 90s, we're talking about. And now Kelsey's that close, man. Do you see Kelsey, how close do you see Kelsey coming in on some of those records? I mean, I think he's 300 away in receiving yards away from Rice right now about. Do you see him itching close?
Well, it depends. Obviously, if they make a run to the Super Bowl, he'll inch closer. I don't know if he gets the 300. Kelsey, to me, Kelsey will have to come back and play next year for that to happen. I think he can. I think he's only like 3 away from the touchdowns or something like that. So I do have him on my slip for tomorrow for a touchdown. I do see a scenario where he gets closer to either tying it or breaking it, depending on how these games go. Because again, that's the beauty of what this offense look like. Like literally anybody can have a good game and should have a good game. I mean, again, it doesn't for me. I try to be cautious on my slip for tomorrow. I really have D-Hop, Worthy, Kelsey. I think I got Kelsey for 40, and Xavier, all for like 25 yards. Again, all it takes is just one pass from Mahomes, and they just take off. So it's not like it's hard. It's hard for that to happen. But And I mean, there's so many players. And then look, I mentioned Justin Watson, or I didn't mention him, but Noah Gray. I mean, Noah Gray has come up big, in the second half of the season. So literally, Patrick has so many different weapons. As long as he's protected and and doesn't have to worry about his blind side and has time in the pocket. Again, you ask how I think the Chiefs offense is going to look. They shouldn't have to punt the football at all.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Kelsey, hopefully, you saw Stephen A. Smith show the other day. Hopefully, Kelsey's sticking around for a lot longer than. But he kind of gave a gray area comment there. But
Kelsey be saying that shit for the camera, bro.
I know.
As long as they win, his ass ain't going nowhere.
I know. Yeah, especially if you can come back for a potential 4P, I think he'd be all about it.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, now we're going to go to JD's keys to victory. I know everyone has been patiently waiting to see JD's 10 keys to victory. His 5 offensive, 5 defensive. We're going to kick it to JD on the other side. Hope everybody enjoys the dungeon with Jason Dunn.
Woo-wee. Oh my goodness. I had to play that right there. My one of my favorite songs. I'm on a new level. Okay, if you never heard that song, put it on. Okay, just before you do anything, if you come on, let's say you get on a elliptical, or you out here about to get on the dishes, or you about to clean your house, or if you before you go to bed, I tell you, okay, play that song. I'm on a new level. All right, and if that right there don't jump you up, oh, I don't know what will. But I'm telling you this, and the reason I'm playing that right there is because now it is the playoffs, baby. Playoffs are here. Yes, sir. And guess what? Playoffs mean we are on a new level. That's what that is. We are on a new level is what it's going to be all about. So look, make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it. Tomorrow, we are getting those pads popping like fish grease. That's what it's going to be, okay? So everybody needs to be understood. Everybody needs to know what it's all about. When you come in there, Arrowhead Stadium, GEH, you better know what it is, okay? Because we're on a new level. We don't care who it is that's in the way. We are going straight through you. That's what's going on. Now, we're going to talk about these keys to victory, okay? On offense. Let's talk about it right here. Now, number one thing we have to do, we have to defend the house. We got to defend the house, baby. It's what it's got to be. We got to make sure that we're going out there. It don't matter who's showing up. Well, we know who's going to show up. It's going to be the Texans. So guess what? The Texans got to get to work, okay? The Texans got to go ahead and take these punches. The Texans got to go ahead and get their nose bloodied up. That's what's going to be. We will protect our house. That's what's going to happen. Make no mistake about it. I don't care who it is, who comes out there, everybody going to get the business. Pure and simple, okay? That's number one thing we have to do. Number two thing, hey, protect PM15 at all costs. We got to win. What does that mean? Break down the D-line, and we got to protect the football. That's what has to happen. Now, we talked about this, got a little look because we didn't quite know who's going to be starting left tackle. To be honest with you, we'd have been fine either way. TJ Humphrey, Tooney, Mike Caliendo, all right there, left guard, same thing. King Suma, it doesn't matter who it is, man. We're going to be fine. We know that, okay? But we got to protect PM15 at all costs. Why? Because the Super Bowl and everything runs through PM15. PM15 is going to be ready. He's going to be out there, and he's going to be laser focused on the things he needs to do. Everybody else needs to be there right there, too. We just got to make sure he stays upright. We do it. We're going to win this game handily, get these guys, and see them boys back down there in Texas. Number 3 thing we have to do, okay? Hey, physical, physical, physical. What does that mean? What's that mean, Coach Dunn? What's that? It means run the damn ball. That's exactly what it means. You got to run the damn football. Pure and simple. Okay? A whole heavy dose of Pac and Hunt. Okay? That's what we're looking at. Tupac and Hunt. That's how it's got to be. A heavy dose of it. That's what I want to see. Kareem Hunt, when he came in last time, he was running over those jokers, balling through them, putting the shoulder in, getting extra yards. We got to see that tomorrow. Guess what? With the much needed rest that we have, we're going to be successful in doing that. Feed the ball to them. We got to run the football. What I'm thinking about right now, it's got to be 60-40, okay? That's got to be the mix. I know we like pass the ball battlefield, but guess what? We got 2 great backs in that backfield that we got to feed the ball. Both of them jokers going to be hungry. Give the ball to them, okay? Let's go ahead and keep it moving. Number 4 thing we have to do against them, attack the entire field. Why? Why, Coach Dunn? Because we got weapons. We got weapons. Now, my guy, if you didn't get to see him on here earlier, Darren Smith is sitting there talking about a reporter saying, man, we got weapons out the wazoo. We got it out the wazoo. So who do we going to throw through? Well, let me see. We got Hollywood Brown, okay? We got Xavier Worthy, Texas Roadrunner. We got D-Hop, old school, old team. We know we're going after him. We also got Travis Kelce. All right? We got Travis Kelce. We got Noah Gray. Not to mention the 2 backs I just talked about earlier before that. We got them all over the place. Juju comes in. Justin Watson plays a little bit. We know we're going to go ahead and make this happen. We are going to hit them dead over their head. Now, there's a lot of media talking about it, right? One in particular, Manuel Acho, sitting there talking about the Chiefs wide receivers can't get open against them. Hey, Emmanuel, I don't know what you're watching, my brother. I don't know what you're watching. You must be doing something else besides watching film, okay? Because Chiefs wide receivers have been beating up over the hall. Now what you done did is you're talking all that noise, you're going to unlock Travis Kelce. Hey, what happens? Travis Kelce start hitting over here, it ain't going to be a joy to watch. Let me get back to the business, okay? Number 5 thing we have to do. Number 5, get into the zone. Get into the zone. What does that mean? Hey, that means 80% success with no turnovers. That's what we're talking about. So the time we have the ball in our hand, once we get there in the red zone, we got to score. 80% success rate. That's what I'm looking for. I think I had the game sitting around was 27-17. My first one, I think, was 31-14, somewhere around there, right? So we're doing that 80% success rate. I'm thinking we get down there at least, we have to, at least 5 times. We get 4 of those, we're going to be fine, right around the 80% rate. That's where we need to be, okay? Offensively, that's what you know what we're doing. We're going to make sure we're doing this right here. We're going to move over to the defensive side of the football now. Let's move to the defensive side. Man, they keep playing this. Like, we just, why the teams and everybody else, social media, everybody gets on to us and keep playing this like we ain't the champs. That's what gets me. That's upsetting to me, just to think about that. Oh, well, the Chiefs don't get beat. It's going to be upset. Y'all ain't seen the upset in, what, 3 years, 4 years? They ain't been no upset yet. Come on now. Stop the silliness, okay? Get with the program. If you ain't with the program, man, you're on the wrong side of it. So we're going to make sure, man, we get this all back together. Get this all back together. Hey, if you're in the house tomorrow, Chiefs Kingdom, if you're in the house, let your voice be heard. We need to hear you out there. Run for them. I wish I was out there. I'm telling you right now, man, I'll take a flight out there at this moment to get out there just to go see them. Okay? But I'm waiting. Because what we're going to talk on the defensive side of the football, Spags and those guys are going to do, right? Spags been waiting for this game. They coming back. They already got their back beat in already once in their head. Already once. So you come back, one time shame on you, second time shame on me. Hey, it's going to be shame on y'all. That's what it is. So here we go. Now, first thing that we have to do against the defense, make it real simple. We're going to handle business up front. right? That's the front 7. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. So that's what we're going to do. So we already know front 7 up. Look, they got very talented guys, all right? Offensive line, I'm sorry. Offensive line. Let me move this. Okay, because my wife, I'm so hyped right now. Let me calm down a little bit. Pull myself back in. Focus. Laser focus. Focus. Okay? Focus up, JD. Here we go. Focus up. Defense. Yeah, baby. All right? Up front. That's what we're going to have. Up front 7. Got to get home. Guess what? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. What's up, man? 5? Welcome back, baby. Welcome back to playoff football. I know you had a little time off. I know the cats are feeling good. When I see you up there, man, I see you having a good time. Because I know you about to go ahead and take their nose off. I know how you feeling. Welcome back, baby. Good to see you now, 5. You're going to make a difference tomorrow. Not only you, but a minute who too, right? Played him to the left. Guess what? The minute who got something for you too as well. All right, number 2 thing that we have to do. Hey, we know what it is. What does Spags do the best? Bring the pressure. That's what it's got to be. Bring the pressure, okay? Well, sure. What does that mean, Coach Dunn? Hey, well, one thing, bring the pressure. Spags bring pressure from everywhere. He brings guys up into the box. He brings from outside. That's what Spags does. And the thing is, nobody's been able to figure it out. Everybody talks about how brilliant Spags is bringing the blitz. We want CJ Stroud. Oh, CJ, I like Stroud. Seeing ghosts. This out and seeing ghosts. I've seen him crumble before over a couple of things, right? Last time, listen, he came into the stadium, shared some tears. I don't mind me and sharing the tears, okay? That means that you're confident in yourself. He was doing it for his boy. But this time, man, we're going to give him tears for a whole different reason. We're going to put something on their backside is what's going to happen, okay? Now they're going to tear up because we beating their head in. That's what's going to happen, okay? CJ seeing ghosts. Sorry, Stroud. That's just what it is. Hey, now, number 3. We got to be stingy in the secondary. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep. Hey, guess what? They keep talking about it. They keep talking about who do we have? They got Nico Collins. Very talented wide receiver. I think he's one of the top in the league right now. Okay, I think he's worked himself up in the top 10 conversation of wide receivers in the league. That's my opinion. I like him. But guess what? Nico Collins, we're going to send you home, buddy. We're going to send you home. You ain't got your dynamic duo with you. In Dale, you don't have him. So who else you got? I mean, Joe Mixon, right? I mean, Joe Mixon, he'll make a couple of little things, little moves, and, he'll catch some balls out of the backfield. But guess what? Last time that happened, Bolton was right there on him. He got one around the corner on Bolton. That was the last time Bolton said that'll never happen again. That'll never happen again. We know we got to make sure of that. So we got to make sure our secondary is stingy. Guess what? Another guy. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Jalen. Woo! Watson. What's up, Jay Watt? Welcome. Yes, sir. Man, the man has been working hard to get himself back on the field. He's done it. He has succeeded in that task. And now he's ready to go out there and go play. So not only him, Jalen Watson going out there, we talk about Joshua Williams, okay? Long arm jerk, put your hands on somebody. Joshua Williams, I want to see you go out there and dominate in the secondary, okay? Tomorrow, I'm watching you two. I'm watching you. And then everybody else come up there, Hicks, Reed, come on, Cook, everybody else. Everybody going to get a little piece of the pie. We got to make sure of that, okay? Number 4, all right? Oh, man. Real easy, real simple. What is that going to do? Make the Texans submit. We're going to make them submit. We're going to put him in a full Nelson. We're going to put him in an arm bar. We're going to put him in a headlock. We're going to put a couple of liver punches on you. We're going to put a couple of kidney punches on the backside of you. We're going to take out our belt, start swinging that thing around on them too, okay? And we're going to make sure these jokers going to feel that. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to send them jokers home. We're going to make them jokers submit. I'm talking about not taking our foot off the gas pedal whatsoever. Make them guys submit, okay? The number 5 thing we got to do defensively, okay, to make sure this thing comes out victorious. Hey, real simple. We got to know who we are. That's simple right there. We got to know who we are. Well, what does that mean, Coach Dunn? What does that mean? When you know who you are, and you've been doing this thing for a long time, there's no ambiguity. There's no doubt in your mind who you've been. There's been no sneaking in of questioning your abilities or thinking that a team has a chance. We don't do none of that. When you know who you are, it's rooted in your confidence and your swag of how you carry yourself. We are the defending champions. We are the ones that helped the Lombardi last year. And what we're doing is we're making a significant run, a historic run this year. We know who we are. Now it's time to show everybody else who we are and what we do and how we go about it. That's what it's got to be. So I don't care who talks. I don't care who's over here picking the Texans to win on some, crazy way it's going to happen and stuff like that. No. You know why? Because the Chiefs are playing at home. We're in Arrowhead Stadium where the best of the best come through, where the best has been in the past few years, where the best of the best know where the Lombardis go, where they belong. It belongs here at home. We know that, in Kansas City. And like I said before, it doesn't matter who it is to show up. I don't care who you bring on the bus. I don't care who you bring on the plane. I don't care who puts on a uniform. Everybody's got to get it. Every single one of them. Hey, and like my man just said, Darren Smith, there's levels to this thing. There are levels. Now ain't the Texans' time. Ain't nobody else's time. This day, this time belongs to the Chiefs. And make no bones about it. We're going out there, and we're going there to whoop you straight up. So be ready. You better get your chin right because we're coming for all of it. I'll see you in a minute.
All right. Well, again, JD, every week he outdoes himself with another Keys to Victory pep talk. Darren, that was your first time experiencing JD's Keys to Victory in real time. What are your thoughts on JD's divisional round Keys to Victory?
Man said it with his chest out. I mean, it's hard to disagree with him when he was talking about it. So, he name dropped me a couple of times, so it was perfect for me. It was perfect to me. I just, again, it's, I think only one person on television that's James Jones on the facility asked the same question I asked. It's just, I just can't see where they get the 21 points or whatever, against the Chiefs to be able to beat them. Because the Chiefs are going to put points on the board, win, but they are. But if they do, where are the Texans going to get their points coming from? And if anybody can answer that question for me, then, perhaps I could give them an outside chance, but I just don't see it.
Yeah, and also, I think one part that I haven't really heard much mentioned this week on the national media is the fact that Andy Reid on a bye week is great. Andy Reid with 3 weeks to prepare and cook up a game script. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what the offense looks like on the first drive of the game. I'm excited to see. I don't think we're going to see anything special, anything that we haven't seen before, like he whips up for the Super Bowls. But just 3 weeks to prepare, man. I'm hoping to see this offense continue to be, as humming as it was how it ended the season between the.
And that's the other thing too. They knew when they played the Texans that just because of them being in their division, and they were the division champs. They knew that they would end up seeing them, in this round. That would be, at worst, they would have seen, probably Denver or whoever the 7th seed was. But but obviously they expected to see the Texans back here because they probably didn't think the Texans were going to get knocked off. So I'm pretty sure because of that, they did not pull out all the stops, obviously, in that first game against them in December. So I do think we will see a lot of new stuff. But you gotta remember, I mean, they got, Andy went back to 1948 Rose Bowl in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's not, it's not going to be beyond them to just pull out. I mean, they could pull out plays that they ran against Denver that, that just didn't work. I mean, if it's up against the right defense, Andy ain't got a problem calling it. The thing is, it doesn't matter what he calls. They just have to execute it. If they execute it, we let the results take care of itself. So, look, the only thing we have to hope is that players don't false start, players don't hold, players don't drop the football, Patrick don't throw the ball at the player's feet or out of bounds or something like that. Again, if the Chiefs are precise in their timing and everything, and game should be over at halftime. And I know we're gonna talk about stuff perhaps in a little bit, but I got to give my boy Nick Wright some credit. I didn't even think about it. I was doing it for other games for like the college football playoffs and some of the games last week, but I didn't, Chiefs over 13.5 for the first half. That should be something that everybody should be looking at. Because if they ain't scoring 14 points before halftime tomorrow, I'm gonna really be pissed. I'm gonna be like you cost me some money. So, yeah.
So what you have Chiefs scoring over 13.5 points first half?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. That's an interesting bet.
Yep.
I mean, I think they should. I mean, they have 3 weeks to prepare for something, and you go out fine tune as hopefully these guys are ready to go.
In the first quarter, man.
They should. Yeah, and hopefully, yeah. Do you of JD's keys to victory? Anything that stood out to you? Any bullet points that where you were like, yeah, I'm all for? Obviously, he covered a lot there, but anything that stood out to you within the within his keys to victory?
I mean, I do think to Jalen Watson, I don't think it's going to get some attention, and I don't know how much is going to get attention on ABC, ESPN tomorrow, but I think that's really going to be kind of underrated. His importance, and I don't think people will realize just how important his return is going to be to that defense. And to be quite honest, I think his presence on the field and the fact that Chris Jones is going to be healthy. Remember, Chris Jones got hurt against the Browns, and so he's been he's been essentially out for almost a month now, and so he's going to be back healthy, ready to go as well. So I think his return, again, you bring in Charles Omenihu, who's been playing well since he came back from his injury. And of course, you add in Jalen Watson. I think overall this is going to be. And I thought the Pittsburgh game was their most complete game, but I think this game tomorrow, I think we're really going to see both sides of the football, and to an extent, the special teams as well. I mean, I think the only workout Harrison Butker should be getting tomorrow is kicking extra points, and you can let Justin Reed kick off.
Yeah. JD, gotta say, I love the welcome back Cotter references during the
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, sir. That's for sure. We got a couple guys that's coming back, man. That's back there on the field in the building. I can see the joy, the happiness that Chris Jones had when he was just speaking to go out there, and he's ready to wreck shop. I don't think that's a question about it. When a man's been off of hunting for a while, he's ready to get back in out there and do it all over again. And so I can see him really making a difference tomorrow in what he's going to do. And so he's going to be ecstatic.
I was say one thing to keep in mind, and this is again, I talk about a lot of things that go unnoticed or just goes unsaid, but most of the players, especially those that have been in the last two or the last two draft classes, all they know is winning. You know, you look at McDuffie, Karlaftis, and those players, and then of course the players from last year. All they know is winning. All they know is the end of their season with confetti dropping. But think about this rookie class that wants to make a name for themselves, but more so the D-Hop. Charles Omenihu had the Super Bowl ring, but he didn't get a chance to experience playing out there on the field. DeAndre Hopkins, Kareem Hunt. They want Samaje Perine. They want to win a Super Bowl for these players. So, you know, so when people talk about, you know, what do they play for? Yeah, they're playing to win, but because they've experienced winning already, they want those who have not experienced it to, you know, saying to get that feeling. And also for a player like DeAndre Hopkins, that could help stamp his entry into the Hall of Fame. You know, he's got the numbers and stuff, but put that ring to go along with it. You know, and then when you have a player such as Travis, Mahomes, and of course, you know, look, we believe Chris Jones is going to be a Hall of Famer. Just based off of his work, you know, but he doesn't, you know, he's still searching for that DPOY, you know, saying, but one of the things that helps him is accumulating the rings. Now, if you're the star of that defense on the defense side of a 3P, yes, that not only gets you in there, but it also enhances your legacy. You know, it puts you in a whole different category. You know, because there are players who have, you know, 4 rings. I mean, you think of Charles. A guy who played for the Cowboys and the 49ers, Charles Haley. You know, say he's got, you know, he's a defensive player that has 5 rings. You know, Chris Jones can, you know, can start to inch up into that category to where, you know, I mean, you talk about him as a Hall of Famer, you know, by the time he finishes up this contract and if he's healthy enough to stick around. But I say all that to say that for those who have not won, players like Patrick and them, they're really putting the extra emphasis on making sure that they, you know, saying that they're crisp and that they complete the journey. Not for them, because they understand it is a legacy builder on their part, but they want to see those players get their just and get their shine. Because again, remember, we talk about Kareem earlier. You know, do you know when you ask, you know, what will Kareem, how will he? Trust me, Kareem is going to leave it all out there on the field. You know, every time he touches the football, he's going to try to take it to the house. Whether he does or not is irrelevant. But he's going to leave it out there. And so that's what I tell you. A lot of the players want to win a Super Bowl for him because of, you know, obviously what took place in the past, and for him it would be, you know, a complete 360 circle. You know, saying coming back around. You know, saying that he'll be able to win with the team, and you know. Let that be that.
Yeah. You know, look, at this point, this is what it boils down to. When you start getting into the playoffs, man, the hay is already in the barn. We understand that. And so the guys are going to be ready to go out and play. We done had the little bit of break that we've had. And so it really is.
They already hit somebody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They tired of seeing each other in practice. They're tired of seeing the same jersey. They're tired of doing the same thing. They ready right here, man, for some war. They're ready for war tomorrow. And I'm telling you, man, they're going to be some heat-seeking missiles, especially, man, in that secondary that's going to come down in the paint, man. And I'm telling you, they are ready to knock off Joe Mixon's block, Nico Collins' block. Look, me personally.
Man, I feel sorry for whoever Justin Reed hits tomorrow, man. We be talking about that stuff in the locker room.
Yeah, but look, I'm going to tell you this.
Justin Reed's a different dude.
Me personally, I would tell a coach, I said, look, if you get you one penalty, so be it. Okay? Be fair, be clean, but you make sure you clean the joker up. He comes across that middle. You make sure you send a message. And sometimes that's important. You know, little shot across the bow, right? And so if you start doing some of that, Nico Collins and them, they'll start having alligator arms coming over the middle. CJ Stroud, like, hey man, we gotta you know, catch your football. He's like, man, you catch it. You throw that joker right there in the middle again like that, okay? See, me and you don't go at it. So
Oh
I
man,
think
that's
little
so
things
true.
like that, man. You got to go out there, man, because this is what this thing's all about. And to be honest with you, it ain't even just about this game. It's about every other game that's coming after that.
Yep.
You got to send a message out to everybody that we are not playing. We are not playing. Everybody thinking the 15-2 was, oh, well, y'all won on last second drives and a couple of block field goals and stuff like that, man. Stop the madness. Okay? Stop the madness. We're going to show you exactly what's up coming tomorrow. And so these guys, man, they are ready to go out there and go at it. And so it's going to be blows thrown. Okay? It's going to be a fun time. And man, we understand exactly what is at stake. Okay, we are talking about this movement, this right here, this first game is the first for the historic run. Okay, that's what we need. Okay, Texans are in the way. We're going to take care of them first. Bottom line, pure and simple. So
yeah. Also love the point you made to Acho, how this game will be a joy to watch.
it's going to be a joy to watch.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me calm down.
That was one of my favorite parts of the whole thing there, JD.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. If you know,
Yeah,
you know.
Right. That's right. It's too funny. It's too funny. Yeah. Well, man, listen, man. Look, we're gonna go ahead and get into the betting part of the show too. Right now, is there anything out here that anybody wants to add or ask my man Darren? Please ask it now. Okay. I see everybody over here, Darren. Man, they are hyped. They are ready.
I'm reading the chat right here. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Sasha said starters are going to be rested in the second half. Hopefully, we'll see. So we'll see what everybody else has to say, man. Darren, look, man, I just want to tell you, my brother, man, I appreciate it. For you just coming out here, man, and just throwing in some of your knowledge, some of the insight of things that's going on in the locker room. It's kind of funny hearing you talk about how y'all get down too inside of there, man. Y'all protecting y'all area and y'all space as well, man. So make sure you keep your elbows out, catch a couple of them jokers, try to come in on your space now.
Oh,
right?
man, it's funny you said
baby.
it's funny you said that. So I'm not gonna mention her name, but she's the new sports director for KCTV5. I'm interviewing Justin Reed, and she just, I almost said, but she called us up trying to walk through my interview. I had straight up Heisman Trophy, like, I'm gonna need you to back on up while I'm doing it. Oh, it's on my, it's if you go look at my last Justin Reed interview that I got on Twitter, you'll see it. She just got, nope, I'm gonna need back on up.
Well, look, when you see doing any interviews, we gonna know what you're all about anyway. So you embody what the Chiefs is all about, man.
Boxing them out, baby. Getting that rebound, right. Boxing them out.
So I saw a question. Somebody asked where I got the hat from. It is from the KC store out at War Parkway. This one I got because it's got the whole gate stuff. So yeah, G Pixel out at the War Parkway on 85th and State Line, I think. That's where I got it.
Okay. Somebody got a question right here for you, my man. Darren, when did you become a Chiefs fan and why? Favorite Chiefs player of all time? Oh, that's
okay. Well, here's the thing. I'm not a Chiefs fan. I grew. I'm not seriously. One. I tell you all the time with this true story. But growing up, as a young black kid, I'm in church every Sunday, and so the Chiefs in the '80s. Anybody who knows the Chiefs in the '80s, they weren't a good team. They didn't get good until Derek Thomas came around '88, '89. So I'm 46 years old. So during that time, Chiefs always played at noon. I'm in church. So by the time we got home, got out of Sunday clothes and family get ready for family dinner and stuff around 3:00. The games that were on that we would watch would be the Cowboys or the 49ers. They were just 49ers because they were winning Super Bowls from that time. The Cowboys because it's America's team, and so that's where that's where my love was. And so, and then I started covering the Chiefs when I was in high school at the age of 15. I was interning at KPRS under Max Sports Clay as a sophomore in high school. So first game I was credentialed for was like a Sunday night football game when I'm eating dinner with John Madden, in the press box. So, this is what you do. I'm 15, so I got, now I'm smart as hell, even at 15, but still mentally, I'm not understanding what, what's going on in the atmosphere because I'm 15, press box, first time keep my mouth shut, but ears wide open. And in the locker room and everything like that, and I played football in high school, but when we got through practicing and playing games, we just got dressed and went home. We didn't walk around, locker room butt naked. So 15, I'm like, am I not like the only one that's noticing this? Like, seriously? And then the women, I'm like, I know you got to be uncomfortable because I'm uncomfortable. I'm looking at no grown man. I mean, no Diddy. I was no Diddy back then.
Right.
I ain't want all that. So, but I started to say that when I was there when Chiefs got Joe Montana and Marcus Allen when I was in high school, and I sat next to Marcus Allen when Joe Montana retired. I was at Joe Montana's press conference, and I was sitting right next to Marcus Allen and his wife, and tried to talk to Marcus. And he was acting like a real dick, and I was like, I'm 15, and I ain't cussed, but in my mind, I'm like, man, F you. And so that kind of turned me off from the Chiefs because of him, and but then also kind of Carl Peterson and that kind of stuff. I just didn't, it just kind of stuff like that would just rub me the wrong way because mind you now again I'm in high school, I'm still covering the team, but I'm still impressionable. But I'm just like, how can you just be like this towards just regular people, just people, just, I used to work at the White House. So, I never thought I was better than someone or thought because of where, I worked or whatever, that would make me better than somebody. Yeah. And I just, it just sat with me wrong. So I am a fan of the players. And let me say this. I do like Clark Hunt. Clark Hunt is giving me interviews on Radio Row and stuff. And I do, me and Gracie are actually follow each other on Twitter. So I do like them. I don't want to make it seem like I hate the, I don't. It's just that also in my position, it's hard. I can't be a fan of the team because I have to cover them. I have to cover from a credible space because if I'm cheerleading for them, it's hard for me to be critical of them and objective when it comes to me. The thing that the players respect about me, I don't say nothing on our pregame shows, postgame shows, even when I interview them or on my show, that I won't say to their face. One, I ain't, my mom ain't raised no bitch, so I told, I don't, man, look, I'll whoop a player's ass if that's if that's what's called for. If they try to be disrespectful. So no, I don't have those problems or those issues with the players. I've never come off that way. They never come off that way with me. So we've always been straight on that one accord. But I want the players to do well for them. I don't get nothing from them. Right. I have this conversation with a guy from USA Today. I was like, "Are you a Chiefs fan?" No, I'm not. But selfishly, I do like the Chiefs doing well because I like going to the Super Bowl. I've been in this business for about 30 years. I don't think people understand how many times I would apply to go to the credential and I always got denied. Well, ever since Patrick Mahomes came, I've been going to the Super Bowl and being on radio every year. I kind of like that kind of stuff. I like going to the Super Bowl. We're growing up watching, you're like, damn, I sure wish I could be the halftime show stuff. Now it's like, man, I wish you heard send me my approval so I can get ready. And, and I've been there. I've been at the last 6, this will be 7 now. And so, man, look, I love this stuff, man. So, no, I want the team to do well because I like the players. And I do like this. So if it eases people, okay, you can call me a Chiefs fan because I do like to see them do well, and I see them do well for selfish reasons. But again, I like the players. I don't have any issues with Andy Reid and the coaching staff. I like them. So but it's but I still have to be objective, and so that's the thing. I'm not going to give no kiss ass questions or whatever. If they ain't playing, trust me. You asked Matt Nagy. I called him out online. I called him out to his face in the presser last year about holding these players accountable. Shit like, these players dropping footballs. I'm trying like, what are y'all coaching? I mean, you either coaching it or you allowing it. Like, how are you all that bad?
That's right. That's
and
good.
And they pick stuff, but they respect that. And if they don't, they ain't gonna tell me about it. So,
Well, but listen, I could just tell from the player standpoint, we respect guys that are real with us. I mean, real recognize real. As long as you're not okay, there was a difference, all right, between some guys that try to cause controversy. That was kind of those guys.
I'm not trying to be a Jason Whitlock. That ain't.
I got you right.
That ain't
right.
me.
You know what I'm saying? And you see guys that try to handle their business in the locker room that particular way. Okay, that there's always going to be a negative slant written in some way and somehow, right? And that's what guys don't necessarily. They don't respect those things because guys, they are looking for a got you moment. They are looking for, to say something that they could twist around and whatnot. But if guys, they know what you're saying, they know how you write, how you portray yourself when you come in, you can almost feel it. You can feel what the guy's all about.
Man,
And so
look,
if you talk to him enough, you definitely gonna know.
Look,
So,
I've covered Kelsey and other people, like if push come to shove, if I need to talk to Kelsey or Kelsey would talk to me. But my thing is, if I know he's not having a good game or he didn't have a good game, I ain't gonna bother him. I'll tap on the shoulder and say, hey man, saying tough night, I understand, saying. And my thing is, I'll put a bug in his ear that I want to talk to him a few weeks down the line, depending on where we're playing at. Like I know when we get to Cleveland or something, like, yo, I want to talk, I got you, D. And all he has to say is, I got you, D, then we good. Because we'll, I think I can't remember what it was, a game we were on the road and nobody was talking. I was like, hey man, you got a second? D, I got you. And the next thing you know, we did an interview with him, and Patrick, I guess, was looking at the restroom or something. Somebody caught a caption of it, and it looked like Patrick. I think it was right before Halloween. It looked like Patrick had like the evil stare to Kelsey. But it was funny. I had to send you the picture. But it's like I'll know. Like Justin Reed will talk to me after every game, win, lose, even if he has a bad game. He'll still he's still a man to talk, and it's just like. He doesn't have to, but like, man, if you don't want to, boom. Like Jawan, I could talk to Jawan. Like, look, if I know he's been flagged 3-4 times or he's given up a couple of sacks, he ain't gonna want to talk. I know that. I don't have to be like, just to get. I tell him, hey man, tough game. We'll talk later on in the week. All right, D, cool, I got you. And that's how I communicate with the players, because they know if they had a bad game, it's gonna be people from the Star or somebody else is gonna want to. Blow some stuff up. I'm going to give them enough grace because some of the players can't handle it right off the bat. Last year, perfect example, game 1, Kadarius Toney, and I can't remember if it was McCall or somebody else that had obviously Kadarius Toney because of the pick 6 or whatever. As soon as the game was over, they were gone out the back of the locker room before the media even got in. It's like, bro, you can run from us, but you can't hide because you're going to have to come address it. And they end up having to address it. It's like, bro, just get it out the way. I said, the sooner you get out the way, you ain't got to worry about it. I said, you talk about it right then and there. We're not going to bring it up later on in the week because it's going to be old news. And so, again, with me, the players know from where, saying from the direction I'm going to come from, because I'm not going to do it. Look, everybody has a bad day, has a bad night. And, we talk about it, we dress it, and we move on. That's it. And that's what they respect, as a former player, you understand.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Darren, so obviously a lot of people in the chat right now. Darren, where can people come find you and see you if they want to hear more from Darren Smith? And I know you have a pregame show tomorrow, so definitely plug your stuff, buddy.
Oh, appreciate it. Well, my show on the radio would have been airing tomorrow, but got the game tomorrow. But normally you can hear me on KOKC Radio, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. on KOKCradio.com. It's a station over in Southeast Kansas that you can listen to live at those times. But tomorrow, Steve Walls and myself will bring you the pregame cheat sheet from Arrowhead Stadium. We'll be doing our pregame show from the press box. We do it from the press box at home, and on the road, we do it from somewhere inside the stadium on the road. So we won't be doing that until we get to the Super Bowl. But we'll do it. We'll go on tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at 2:30, an hour before kickoff. Then we'll do a post game on the field after the locker room and presses and stuff. And then on Monday, we'll do the Red Hour, which is our post game show from 6:30 to 7:30 on the same platforms as well.
Okay. Good deal. So everybody, I hope y'all got that, man. And if you haven't been watching Darren and the stuff he does, man, y'all been missing out for real.
And you can follow me on Twitter. I'm sorry, at Darren Smith NFL.
Okay. So Make sure y'all get, man, like I said, a heavy dose. I was talking about Pacheco and Hunt, man. Get you a heavy dose of some Darren Smith, too, in your life. Okay? You want to know something about the Chiefs, baby? You got to go to the man and go get it. So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, my brother, listen, man, I just want to tell you, man, thank you so much, my brother, for coming on here. Appreciate it so much. Look, we got to get you back. We got to get you back on here.
You got the number, man.
More ball, brother. Okay.
Well, look, I'll put it like this. I'll extend the invite when the Chiefs make the Super Bowl. I'll be on Radio Row, but I'll depend on what time, what day and time you all go on in the evening time. I'll be happy to join you all from New Orleans. So,
okay,
Fantastic.
Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, we usually on Monday, Wednesday, Friday is what we do. Then after the game, but yeah, man, we'll get you on anytime.
Well, that Monday night is opening night. I'm gonna be busy that night because the Chiefs are gonna be doing their thing at the basketball arena, and then Wednesday I should be fine. Wednesday, but
okay,
yeah,
okay.
I will make time for you all. We'll just get it scheduled. That's all.
We'll get it figured out.
Cool, my brother. Appreciate it. There, man. Appreciate it, my brother. All right. Listen, we'll talk to you. Get you a shot, man. We're gonna finish up on this a little betting bit right here. But everybody's
hold on, because I might need to write down some of these bets because I already got my parlay slip in, but I'm gonna run over to Kansas before I go to the Shane Room to play some more bets. So I might need to sit back and see what you all got, because one of the things I told him, take the Chiefs plus 13.5 for the first half.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
3.5 points in the first half. Let's do it.
All right.
I'm gonna write this down right now.
Yeah.
But all right, Darren. Well, guys, you guys heard where to follow him and find him, and it was a pleasure having you on, brother. I know I've seen we've been following you for a while on Twitter. And we also met on the airplane from DC going to Kansas City on the first Chiefs parade that we had. We didn't know each other, but it was nice getting to meet you again, brother. So
Pleasure.
Everybody, go watch Darren's pregame show tomorrow before the Chiefs game, and we'll see you on the other side. Darren, take it easy, buddy.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Talk to you. Okay.
All right.
Good dude. I mean, obviously you've seen it.
Yeah.
Seen tweets and fantastic. Yeah, he's a good guy. Good guy. Great show so far. Everyone's loving JD. I gotta say, based on the comments that we had in the chat tonight, everyone loved.
Getting some heat going. Woo! Yes, sir. There we go. Yes, sir.
And we got our guy Teja's coming in right now. Teja's watching. I saw Teja's face throughout your keys to victory. He was in the backstage. I saw him. He was loving it.
Another banger.
We do, man. We pushing them out, Tage. You know what I mean? We're pushing it out. I tell you, man, I get into feeling, man, I'll be ready to play. And I just know I was to know those jokers, man. If I'm in front of them, I'm going to give them all of that heat they need to go out there. So we're going to charge on out there. So.
Yeah, you had people in the chat ready to suit up. As you do every week, I will say every week you do that to everybody. But this week, I think specifically, everyone was ready to strap on.
Take everybody with me. Everybody in the chat is ready to go. Let's go. I'm going to take y'all with me. Let's go. We can get it. Okay. Suit up, strap up, man. We'll bust. We'll roll to the stadium. That's what we need to do. Okay. So good time. Right. Good time. Great interview, man, with Darren too, man. Just giving some inside knowledge and stuff. So
for sure.
Good stuff.
Very, very surprised he's not a Chiefs fan. I get the journalistic aspect of it, not being biased to a team, but born and raised in Kansas City, not a Chiefs fan. He never answered the question as to who he liked, though. He said Niners or Cowboys. He didn't specify. And a lot of people in the chat were upset he didn't specify.
No, but he liked players. That's what he said more so than anything else. So it wasn't no particular team. But matter of fact, his story, what he told was part of the reason I'm not a UK fan, from the start, because of the issue with, one of the players cussed us out when I was younger. And so I remember I was just like, you know what? If I ever be in a position to sign autographs for a young guy, I would do it. And that was the reason. I didn't like UK as much. And, my family and everybody around here can't believe I'm a UK fan. And the only other team that had white and blue, because that's what my colors were in middle school and high school, was Duke University, at least for me. So
the Dukies.
Yes, sir. Became a Duke fan. So it's good stuff. That's good stuff right there.
Yeah, it was great. Very cool to see the inside view of some of the guys we talk about on the show. You know, he gets to see these guys a few times a week, and hearing some of the things he said about some of the guys in the locker room. The Justin Reed bit, Justin Reed talking about how he wants to smack these dudes this week. I think that's hilarious. So, hey, if you can place a bet or predict the amount of tackles Justin Reed can have in some whatever betting platform you have, I think you guys do that this week. Justin Reed's going to go crazy against his old team. JD predicts Charles Amena, who's going to go crazy against his old team. And D-Hop potentially can go crazy against his old team. So,
yes, sir.
A lot of things at stake here for some of these guys beyond winning, just playing against your old squad. But yeah.
Sasha says, same here, JD. A fight with Richie Farmer kept me from UK. Wow. Okay. Wow. That's a new one right there, Sasha. Haven't heard that one before, but that's true. Sometimes they do it, man. Guys that could turn you off about the way that dudes act and how they treat people. That's anybody, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, somebody treat you, cuss you out and say something to you like, hey, man, I don't think I'm a fan of yours. Sometimes people that you're affiliated with either. It's like, oh, well.
Yeah, well, I guess him saying the Marcus Allen thing kind of turned him off. He was young. Yeah, Marcus Allen, he's more of a Raider than he is a Chief. It's like
I would just dislike Marcus Allen at that point.
Yeah, right. If he's a root for players, also just hit on players, maybe not the logo. I don't know.
I guess if you're affiliated with it, that's how it is. Like, maybe because sometimes you think that's what everybody's like. Okay, all right. Is this what y'all breeding around here? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm like none of y'all jokers did.
No, that makes sense. I will say, when I was a young buck, I think I met Fred Smoot when I was young.
Smoot.
Being in the DMV area, we get a lot of Redskins or Commanders pop-ups where they're at this mini mall and they're signing autographs. I remember I went with my mom and I was like, oh, we're gonna be a Redskins player. It's Fred Smoot, nicest guy ever, man. He was doing that. Him, Rock Cartwright, and I forgot. I think, might have been. Gosh, I forgot the third guy was, but it was John Jansen. It was John Jansen. He was he a guard or a tackle? I don't know, so don't remember.
I sure remember.
But yeah, Fred Smoot, Rock Cartwright, solid dudes. But I'm not a Redskins or a Commanders fan though, and they were good guys.
No, I'm just thinking. I'm laughing because you start thinking like if a family member, somebody, some family person, like just cussed you out, right? You would think the whole family's the whole family's like that. A family of a-holes is what that is.
It's true. It's true. But in our family, if you met one of the Dash brothers specifically, I'm not gonna name his name, but if you met him, you would think of the whole not Teja. Yeah, you would think that one Dash brother represented the entire embodiment of the Dash clan. That's not at all. One
I'll
bad
only curse at you if you piss me off on the road. That's all.
Yeah, Tate's got bad road rage.
Yeah, I know Tate's good people. Yeah, no, yeah. I'll tell you got road rage.
No, I don't have road rage. I'm more of those kind of guy that talks to myself about what an idiot they are. I'm like, oh, you're gonna do that? Okay, great. Yeah, that's good. That's real smart, buddy. Real smart. That's like my road talk.
Okay. So you're not one of those lay on the horn. You're one of those.
No, I mean, I'm actually the biggest horn honking I do is when I'm going through like parking garages and I know people don't pay attention. So I'm ready to just give them a little beep to be like, I'm here when I'm passing by, when I see them coming out, when I see them pulling out. That's the only time I usually honk at people. Or like, and I'm not one of those lights green, honk, 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 the second it turns green, like a Jeopardy answer. I don't do that either.
Yeah.
I wait a bit and I'm like, I don't want to miss the light because of you. That's when I'm like, all right, I might miss the light. Let's go. Enough.
Yeah. See.
Especially nowadays when people are texting probably. Before, they just weren't paying attention. Now, 9 times out of 10, if they don't see the green, it's because they're texting.
They're texting, yes.
You just kind of wake them up. That's all. But people get defensive, man. People get really, really defensive.
Oh, yeah, it's horrible out there now. It's horrible. I just
people see you honk at them because they did something wrong, and they start cursing you out because you honked at them because they did something wrong. It's like, whoa, hold on. Let's go back to where this started. You're an idiot. So what are we talking about here? Why are you yelling at me?
JD, Susan says Khalil, he's a trip. Is he? How is he on the road?
Yes, he is bad road rage. He's one of those that will lay on the horn, lay on the horn. And it's funny, I'll tell you this real quick. So I was driving back. We went camping, and I was just like, we pulled over a gas station. I'm like, look, go ahead and head back to the rest of the trip. He's like, yeah, Dad, I got it. I get in the passenger side. He gets in the car. Literally, we're driving out from where we pulled over. And there's a car probably 15 seconds away from it is. He pulls out. He starts just laying on the horn. And I wake up like, yo, like, what's going on? What are you doing? Dad, he pulled out in front of him. I'm like, man, pull over. Like, pull over. I'll drive the rest of the way. Don't even worry about it. I walk straight up. He's like, no, Dad, I got it. I'm like, no, you don't, man. Pull over. And I was like, man, never again. Never again. The whole time, maybe the entire trip home, that entire hour, I bawled him out. Just why you don't do it? What's wrong? Like seriously, the entire hour. I know. I'm like, man, you're gonna learn this lesson. And I was just sitting over there like, man, what's wrong with you? Like, why would you do that? Like, you know that when you honk at other people, it messes everybody else up. Like they don't know who you're honking at. You know what I mean? Like all those different things. Yeah. I said, you become more of a burden than actually trying to help. You ain't teaching that person nothing by doing that. Yeah. So why did they pull over?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
My wife has to remind me. She's like, they can't hear you, right? I was like, yeah, but it makes me feel better. Okay, that's all I care about right now because because they're not going to improve their driving anyway.
No.
I will say I don't think I have road rage, but if someone does like do something stupid on the road, I want to like speed up just to see them. Like I want to see I want to see who it is. I want to see the look of their face. I want to know who it's doing it. I'm not trying to cut. No, I don't try to cut them off or whatnot. But
Marcus is a honker.
Oh wow! Oh man! Jeez.
It might be a millennial thing. Cleo's doing it. I'm doing it. It might be a millennial thing.
It's got to be. You got 10 people looking around like, who's he honking at? Just messing everybody up.
Yes, which he's got. I want to see if they look stupid as they drive. Yes, I want to see. I want to see the kind of look they have on their face. I want to see who's doing this to people.
And they rarely disappoint.
No. Yeah, generally they're not even looking up. They're like you see the phone in the hand. You see them doing this to the side. It's like, okay, that's typical.
What about when someone's not letting you in?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What are you
trying to get in? Like where?
Yeah, it's when you have to get in.
You wave and like, hey, can I get in? Like
they
this,
still don't do it.
Right? Yeah, I don't even look at you. Like I ain't going to acknowledge you exist.
Yeah.
No, you're like, hey, yeah. You're like, hey, like looking at them.
When I was really bad, I used to do this. I used to be like, when it would be that one person, it was up to them to let you in, right? I would look at them, they look at me, there's probably like, no. I'm like, no. I'm like, all right, watch. I would just slowly start like turning into their lane and like act like my eyes are closed. I'm going. You have to let me in, or I'm just gonna bump your car. And they would be like, flick me off, like, but let me in. I'm like, got it. That's all I wanted.
All right, so we're gonna get to the props now. We got Rick Ledoux. He wants props. We're getting there, buddy. We're getting there. All right, so we're gonna begin. So obviously there was no Chiefs game last week, so we're just gonna go right into. I don't want to go to the Week 18 game. I know Teja went undefeated that week. It was his first win of the season, so Teja finally got his one
first win.
Well, first full complete week, the first complete game shutout for you.
Yeah.
The complete game shutout for you. Teja. We're not going to look at that because that's a long time ago. We're going to dive right into the divisional. Teja.
Yeah. Why give me credit? We're in it too.
We're going to go right into it, Tej.
Okay. Start from the top. Okay, let's go. Mahomes 35 plus passing attempts. So Mahomes has gone over this number in his last 9 out of 10 games, and had 41 the first time they played the Texans. I expect us to fear their pass rush at least enough to just get out passes a lot quicker. Pick up the chunk yardage, pick up a lot of the yak, expect a lot of methodical long drives. So I think we might be at a good pace at this by the first half. I want to be at least at like 20-22 by the first half to feel really good about this, especially if we're going to do most of our scoring in the first half, like Darren did talk about. Mixon under 17.5 receiving yards. So he's gone under this number in his last 4 games with only 2 targets per game in that time. He's banged up. I expect the Texans to try to use Mixon more on the ground and Agumawale through the air. Pacheco, 10-plus rushing attempts. So not counting the Steeler game where he left a little early, he's averaged just over 10 attempts per game. He's fresh, he's ready, and he averaged 20 rush attempts per game in the playoffs last year. So I think he might get 15 plus. I'm predicting around 12, so I'm safely going to be a wuss and take 10. Mahomes over 24.5 completion. So the Chiefs total is set at 24.5. Mahomes has hit 26 plus completions in 6 out of the last 7 games when the Chiefs score more than 24 points. He also hit 28 against the Texans last month. And again, I expect a lot of quick passes to negate the Texans pass rush. Total under 48.5. So the last time we played them, it was 46. I predict a 27-20 game. I'm playing it safe with 48.5. If you really want to play it safe, go 50.5, as I can't see anything being higher than a 27-23 or 30-20 game. So I think it'll go under that.
Okay. All righty. So let me see. Mahomes 35 plus passing attempts. You said he's done at 9 of the last 10 games. Is that what you said?
Correct. Yep.
Gee. Okay. Then I like that bet then. Okay. Looking at the math and the numbers, I think it's a good bet. I just looked at what he did. He had 41 against them the first time. What is that going to mean coming into this game? I think they're going to do what they do. They're going to run their offense. As much as we scream, and I said to Darren, pull our dreads out and our hair out, they're going to do what they want to do. Okay. And so, yeah, they may throw it on 3rd and 1. That might be part of it. Okay. So I do like that bet. Mixing under 17.5 receiving yards. I don't like this one as much for the simple fact, I think, because Nico Collins, Schultz is like really the only 2 guys they have. Now, obviously, they got the other guys, but he had the one catch for 14 yards that he got up on the sideline on us. They may try to use him a little bit more out the backfield, also too. But I do think, if you do run a couple of screens with Mixon as well, that might also give him a little bit. So, but I mean, I see where you're going with it. So hopefully he doesn't get over it. But maybe that's the only one right here, the one I don't like. Pacheco,
just to say to that, he has had 3 10-plus receptions, receiving yards in those games. He didn't hit 17.5 in any of them, though. He had a 13-yarder last week. He only had 13 yards. He had the 14-yarder against us. That was the only pass he caught. And then he had a 10-yarder against Baltimore, but he only had 13 yards in that game. So he's just not getting the targets.
Okay. All right. Okay. So Pacheco, 10-plus carries on that. I do like this. I think Pacheco kind of, coming back, getting back into the fold a little bit. Kareem Hunt kind of solidified himself as kind of that back. I think it's going to be somewhat of a balance between these two. If Pacheco was eating, we're definitely going to give him, some more carries, lion's share of it. We just need to open up some holes. That's the main thing. We just got to be able to stay with the run. Part of the problem is we just come off of it because we do see Patrick Mahomes having 35-plus passing attempts. That's part of the problem. But if we're trying to generate, obviously, holding the football, time of possession, getting some drives, I do see Pacheco probably getting 10-plus carries. I would. I mean, it just makes sense to me. So the total points, 48.5. So my total points I had on here was 27-17. It was 44 points. So I do believe that. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I mean, 27 points for us and then 17 for them. I don't think they're going to have a whole lot of points. I like that bet a lot right there, actually. I like that one a lot. What was the next one under that, Tej? Even just to kind of stretch it. like 46 will go down increments like 46 and
You can go down per point if you want.
on it. Okay.
Yeah, so I really usually go by what I think the final score is going to be, and I maybe try to buffer it by 3-7 if I'm feeling even more scared.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Like that one. Mahomes over 24.5 completions. He had 28 last time against them, and I do believe it's going to be some more of the get the ball out of your hand pretty quick. Now, the thing is with this, all the Texans are going to be sitting on the short passes knowing that's probably some of the game plan of, are they going to fear our pass rush? Are they going to try to get the ball out of our hand? Are we sitting on those things, as far as the completions may not work? But I kind of like that bet, especially if they, if you was doing 41 attempts, you get 24.5 completions. I do like that bet. So these ain't bad bets to make, Taze. $25 to 175. Okay. Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I like the bets. You've had one. You had a few comments in here, but the one I saw was Mike Brennan. Teja's not hitting the Mahomes rushing attempts over. I'm surprised.
I mean, he's only had one game of over 4 attempts in his last 6. Hasn't been doing it as much.
I think Mike's going for the kneel downs, the victory formation. At the
Yeah,
end.
I mean, he had 5 attempts for 33 against the Texans last time with a good pass rush. If he doesn't do the quick hitter, you might have to run a little bit. So I think it's over under for yards is 20 and a half.
Yeah, it's kind of high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which could mean they know something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I have no overlap with you this week in the bets, but I like the trends that we got here. So let's begin. So Chiefs minus 8.5. So I'm going with the exact spread of this game, minus 8.5. Mahomes is 8-3 against the spread under 30-degree weather. So when it's under 30 degrees, Mahomes is 8-3 against the spread. As a 7-point favorite or more when weather is under 40 degrees, Mahomes is 10-6-1 against the spread. So we're looking at Mahomes. When it's cold weather games, man, Mahomes is hitting on these against the spreads. I know everyone wants to cite this year that, we can't cover any spreads, but when the weather is like this, and especially we're going against a team that's coming from the dome, this team, like I think we said, they were 3-3 in their outdoor games this year. So this is a team that's not really used to playing outdoors, and they're 3-3 this year. And Mahomes is kind of a beast when it comes to covering spreads when it comes to outdoor games in the winter. Number 2, DeAndre Hopkins, 25 receiving yards. As we mentioned on the show, DeAndre Hopkins is one of the few guys in this game who's going to have a chance to have some revenge against his old squad. And he'll be playing more than 45% of the snaps as we've been holding him down to that number all year long. Now the draft pick has conveyed because he got less than 60% of snaps. DeAndre Hopkins is going to be playing a lot. And if you listen to his soundbite this week, he talked about how the reason why the Chiefs came and got him was for this time of the year. And just looking at that number of 25 receiving yards, in 9 of the 10 games he's played with Kansas City, he has hit over 25 receiving yards. So 9 of 10 games, he's gotten over 25 receiving yards. So almost a lock here, I would say 9 of 10. And with the extra oomph against his old squad, I feel like that's a definite. Then number 3 here, we got Travis Kelce, 6+ catches. So this year in the 16 games Kelce played, he had eclipsed this number 6 times. And just looking at postseason play, we're talking about postseason ball. I went down the rabbit hole of looking at Travis Kelce's games with Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback. In the 18 postseason games with Patrick Mahomes as Travis Kelce's quarterback, Travis Kelce has eclipsed this number or had this number or more. 14 of 18 games Travis Kelce has had 6+ catches in the postseason. So 14 of his 18 games with Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback, he's had 6 or more catches. So I'm just going with Travis Kelce there. And also, guys, we talked about it earlier, Travis Kelce is chasing Jerry Rice. As far as postseason, a lot of postseason stats. I don't know about catches, but I know yards and touchdowns. He's coming close to Jerry Rice, but 6+ catches. We know Pat loves to go to his guy, his safety blanket in the playoffs, and I think we're going to see a little bit of that tomorrow. Number 4, Xavier Worthy, over 40 receiving yards. I'm going to go, we've seen his usage get high towards the end of the season, and we got 7 straight games of Xavier Worthy having 40 or more receiving yards. And I'm just going to continue to go with this. I mean, I think we've included this in a few of our bets over this 7-game stretch, and it's hit every time. we're going to continue to see Xavier Worthy, the maturity and the growth and his evolution in this offense. And also 3 weeks to prepare. I think 40 receiving yards is almost a lock here. And I think his actual number is 49 and a half receiving yards. So we're getting a little bit lower than the actual line here just to be safe with the 40 receiving yards. And then the last one is probably the bet that we've gone with the most this season is opposing teams' tight ends against us. Dalton Schultz, 25 receiving yards or more. He had 10 of his 18 games this year. He's had a clip of 25 yards receiving and 45 yards the last time he played against us. So, yeah, he's already proven that. And the most staggering number of all is the one we always cite is every starting tight end we've played against this year has eclipsed 25 yards or more. The only tight end who did not do that was Will Dissly in week 4, who had 24 yards receiving. So he was 1 yard away from that. So pretty much almost every tight end has eclipsed 25 yards against us. So yeah, Dalton Schultz, 25 plus receiving yards. And that is 25 smackaroos to win $262. JD, what do you think, buddy?
I do like the bet of the Chiefs, covering the spread right there. I think it's a good bet. I'm going with that. Everything what I have as far as my guess on what the score is going to be definitely covers it. Hopkins 25 plus receiving yards. I think he gets it. We're going to try to feed him as much as we can. He'll catch probably a good 4 or 5 catches, probably for some first downs because that's the guy we need to find for a first down. Obviously, hopefully he gets one in the end zone too. I might have to take it anytime touchdown with D-Hop. I think it's a good bet, man. Just throwing something on top of that. Kelsey 6+ catches. I like it. There was a couple in the game. I think he dropped. We didn't quite get the ball to him. So I think 6+ catches. I mean, it's a playoff Kelsey, man. So, I mean, that's just how it works. It's how it works. So I think it's a good bet. Worthy 40 plus receiving yards. I just went back for the past few games and he's hit it. We've been trying to get the ball to him. Like I said, I think it's something that we just continue to do. And so we're going to get one of them deep balls on Worthy. I think I see that happen in this game. A deep ball to him. So I think that's a good bet right there. Schultz, 25 plus receiving yards. They're definitely going to use Schultz as much as possible. They just are. I think it would shock me if they didn't try to get the ball to Schultz. It really would. So I think it's an easy bet on that one. Bet $25 to $262.50 on it. So the good bets, man. They're the good bets.
How crazy is that every starting tight end we played has at least hit 25 yards, and the only tight end who didn't was Dissly, who got it, who was off by 1. That's wild to me.
Yeah. Will Dissly's not a burner. He's not going, he's not that guy for sure. So,
All right, JD. So now you got to do the hardest part of the betting show is you choosing a winner.
Yeah. So I was just telling, Tej, I like all the bets that he made out there. The only ones the one that was kind of questionable to me was the Mixon one, 17 plus receiving yards. But I like, him coming back with a little bit of, an answer for that. I had to listen to it like, okay, it's it's good debate on it. I like that. Yeah, I think Teja's bets look good. I like them. No concern as far as like that, other than the one. I don't know if he swayed me or not, but I think that's, I thought he did a good job arguing his point. Marcus, on yours, I didn't really have any issues at all. The only one at first I had an issue, and I had to look at it, was the whole Xavier Worthy 40 plus receiving yards, just because we have Hollywood Brown. Are we going to get the ball to Hollywood instead of Xavier? Are they going to be keeping on Xavier now because of what they saw the first game? Was the question I had in my head. But I believe that, Xavier Worthy is one of those guys, man, you just got to get the ball in the hand of the playmaker. He's a playmaker for us, slants and those different things. I think he's going to get a deep ball on this one. Just missed it last time. So I think those are all pretty decent bets. So if I'm looking at it, Teja, $25 to win $175. Marcus bet $25 to win $262.50. I'm going to have to go this week. My man that had the bets, the last game was incredible bets. He had to give you your flowers and your props on it, Tage. Okay, he did an incredible job, man, last game. But this week, man, I'm going to go with Marcus on this one, man. I know it. I just...
You really set me up for the Ryan Seacrest build up there, huh?
Look, I had to tell you how great you did last one for sure. And I'm gonna tell you what makes the difference on this one. Is the money pulling in off of the bet. I kind of like. It just seems safer. That Joe Mixon one, because if you have Schultz, Nico, who else you gonna go for? What's been kind of Achilles' heel is the same thing. The running back covering the running back out the backfield. So maybe they go back.
I can make that argument for last week too, but they still didn't go to Mixon.
No, they didn't. But they're playing the Chiefs. The Chiefs are different team. They'll look at early on in the season that we had some problems with covering the running back. Is that something that they'll say, hey, let's do something a little bit different this time, as opposed to what we did against them the first time? So
him being banged up as he is and didn't even practice yesterday has no weight on that.
Well, did they say that he doesn't have any designation as far as he practiced today, right?
He's listed as questionable, and he's expected to play. He's listed as questionable, and there was footage of him getting on the bus today, and apparently there was no noticeable limp on his.
That sucker's playing, man. Hey, come on, that sucker's playing. That's all it is. He's playing possum right now.
He'll play, but I mean, where do you want Mixon? Where do you want to give most of his touches? I just feel like he's going to get it mostly through the ground. I just feel like they're going to try to get Ogubawale in there to catch some of those balls.
Yeah, they might. I think they'll use him in a screen game too. I mean, why not? I know Greg Rose said that they stopped the screen, but those are more wide receiver screens that they're playing man on, as opposed to having a linebacker try to filter through all the trash to kind of get to Mixon. So. Yeah, I don't know. I think to be honest with you, I don't think you lose either way. I think both of those are good bets. I do. I like the money coming in higher off Marcus's bet too, the 262.50, the 175. I like 175, but that 262 looks a little bit better. Just a little bit, just a tad.
Teja, was the completions or the attempts that's he's done that 9 out of the last 10 games for Mahomes? Was his completions or was it attempts?
Attempts.
I like that one a lot. I may have to do another wager to include that with it.
So at the same time, if you're going to take attempts at 35, then completions 25 is pretty safe too. I don't think he's going to go 23 of 35. I think if he's going to pass the ball a lot, I expect a lot of dink and dunks. Because I know they're going to be guarding the short game, but they were trying to guard the short game last time we played him, and he tore him up. And they also got to be worried about that deep ball. We have a lot of guys who can spread them out. So
yeah,
we just have so many options now. He doesn't need to pinpoint one guy and stick on one guy. You have to be worried about Kelsey. You got to be worried about Hollywood. You got to be worried about Worthy. You got to be worried about Hopkins. We finally have what we wanted at the beginning of the season, which is a team that's hard to zero in on.
You know what, Andy was just kind of talking as far as the linebacker coming back that he's kind of concerned about too. Okay, with the speed that he has, is that going to be something too as far as what he's calling the defense, sitting on some of those passes, knowing what we do offensively? And I think they will. I think that's one of the things they knew from the last game. We beating you on the short passes. They're saying, well, look, we can't let them do it again. We know that that's their MO, trying to get the ball out of their hand. We got to make sure we defend kind of the short to intermediate passes this game as well. So I think that's how they're going to attack us. I think it's how they're going to attack us, and I think they're going to be ready to sit in the box. When I seen them play, and here's the thing, watching them play the Chargers, that's pretty much exactly what they did. They almost let them kind of have some of the deep throws a little bit. You know what I mean?
I know, but they only had McConkey to throw to. That's all they were throwing the ball to. It's all who was doing anything against them. Quinn Johnson has
He's dropping everything.
Deal. That we have like 4 McConkeys. If he had 4 McConkeys, Herbert would have been just fine. But he's got 1.
Yeah.
So even with that, McConkey still went for like 9 for like a bazillion yards. So like,
yeah,
they still couldn't stop the one guy who's only doing something. Just no one else could step up on that team.
Yeah. I don't know, Johnson, man. I think I had a bet on him. I was like, dude, come on, just catch.
I know,
It was
man.
one of the bets, man. I had him. I was just like, yo, we got to hit this. And sure enough, we dropped it. I was like, I just started tearing my shirt.
We honestly dodged the bullet not drafting him. Big time. Remember we brought him to Texas when Pat was throwing routes to those guys. We brought in Zay, we brought in Quentin Johnston, and I remember there were some Chief fans who wanted us to get Quentin Johnston. And thankfully, we avoided that.
Yeah, I mean, you could say the Chargers dropped the ball by drafting him.
There you go. That's you guys are the puns tonight. You guys are the JJ with the joy to watch, and you with the.
But here's the thing, though. He could have been a different guy here, though. Who's to say?
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
because then all of a sudden, some of those deep balls, we could have just thrown slants and stuff to him.
Yeah, I know. Last year, I mean, you could have had Kadarius Toney teaching him how to catch.
Oh boy. So
this is how you use your hands and catch the ball.
Yeah, you probably might see Kadarius Toney down at the UFL this coming year.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Cancun after the season, but yeah, that too.
Probably. So obviously, guys, we have our new sponsor is Underdog. We've been putting this out there. We've been of the last 3 weeks of the Chief games we've played that we had before we went to a break. We went 10 of 11 on the picks we've put out for you guys. That was even including the Denver Broncos game, which I think we had one Chief player in that bet. But yeah, guys, this is what we have. DeAndre Hopkins. 9 of 10 games, he's had over 25 receiving yards. Dalton Schultz, every tight end we've played besides Will Dissly has gotten over this number this season. And Dalton Schultz over 29.5 receiving yards on Underdog. Teja, he sent me this one, the Joe Mixon under 19.5 receiving yards. That's the one he went with.
How do you feel about 19.5? Do you feel any better about that, JD?
It's only 2 yards, so ain't it? Just another 2.
I mean,
that's significant though. And here it's a game we know
2 yards. 2 yards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jeez.
And then Patrick Mahomes over 24.5 completions. Tasia, do you have a stat behind that one?
The completions one? Yeah, I went over that already. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah. So these
that's
are 4.
Whenever we score over 24 points in a game, I think he's done that 6 out of his last 7 games we've done that in.
For Underdog, you have to at least pick one player from each team. So you don't have to do all 4. You can just do Mahomes. You can do Hopkins and Schultz. You can do Mixon and Mahomes. You at least have to have one player from each team. So you can do the Hopkins and Schultz. I think those are locks personally. I wouldn't touch the other 2, but Teja's fond of those. So
if you add in the 19.5, you say it's only 2 yards. He's only done that once out of his last 6 weeks.
Joe Mixon, really? Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So type in, as you see there, guys, click the link in the description, and promo code is Chief Concerns, and you guys get a deposit bonus up to $1,000 in bonus cash. All you have to do is deposit at least $10. So yeah, do that, guys, and let's take in the win. Let's take in the winnings, baby. Taking the winnings. I think last week every wild card game that I put up there, again, our 10 of 11 was one for Chiefs games specifically. But I think I did one for each wild card game last week, and I think we missed one on each one of them. So it was like 3. We were 3 for 4 consistently on all of them. So pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. So yeah, guys, get in on that. Mike Brennan, anything over 60% is making money. Y'all hitting at 90% rates, sending kids to college, and immediate early retirement. I bet you, Mike.
They got them facts. There it is.
Facts.
So, hey, man. So, like I said, shoot, throw $25 on each bet. You're going to come out on top anyway. So, that's why I look at it. Just doing the math.
And the other good stat was we didn't talk about Kelsey, 5 receptions in 14 straight playoff games.
14 straight, 5. Yeah, so I did 6. So it was 14 of
Yeah.
18 total with 6 catches, but yeah,
But
5.
5 is 14 straight.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty good.
tough to bet against these patterns we got.
And he's cutting close on Jerry Rice's yards and touchdowns. Closer to touchdowns than he is yards, but
Yeah.
yards gets take one more postseason run.
Is Kelsey like the highest rated touchdown scorer?
Yes.
He is?
Yeah, it's him then Pacheco, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Which is interesting because I do think Hunt would be the more the goal line guy if we get down there tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's let me see. Yeah. It's pretty close though. It's pretty close with all three of them, really. 145, then 160 for Pacheco, 170 Hunt. So it's extremely close.
Yeah. Pretty close. But all right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of our show. I know it's been with 2.5 hours. It's like almost a Godfather length here of a show.
Yeah. It was an epic.
It was. But we hope you guys enjoyed it.
Mission.
We hope you guys enjoyed Darren Smith's interview. It was fantastic. And then, of course, the keys to victory with JD, which everyone loves. My favorite part of our weeks. And, of course, the betting show. So we hope you guys got everything you wanted from this show. And, yeah, tomorrow, one more sleep, guys. Man, as soon as this show's over, I'm passing out and waking up. And we got pregame festivities, baby.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I can't wait till tomorrow. I got a full day tomorrow, too, so it's going to be good. I'm going to be moving around, and I can't wait to finally get home and kick my feet up to watch the Chiefs. And so I got to watch this thing from home, man. I can't go nowhere else. I want to be here. I don't go anywhere else.
No way.
No, I couldn't. Oh, man, I couldn't stand it. So, and like I told you, over here around this area, it's all Bengals fans. Nobody wants to watch the Chiefs. Nobody wants to see them. I seen a guy the other day, he had a Chiefs shirt on. I'm like, hey, Chiefs. He's like, I see your hat. Yeah. So it's cool. Sometimes people are recognizing it around here now. Other ones just kind of grumble and, moan. So it's good. Listen, I'm going to say what's up to everybody in here. Goodbye to everybody. Sasha, good seeing you. Don Peterson, seeing McBride, G. Pick, Steve Dunn, Under Chanel, Della Seguero, Mike Brennan, G. Pick, Don Peterson. Excuse me. Optimistic James, Kevin Mars. Sweetie was in here tonight. Andrea Chanel, Rick Ledoux. And let me see who else we got in here as well. Hannah is in the house tonight. Joe E. Chiefs Easy 3-peat. Zach Devlin. YB Negatives here in the house. Let me see who else we got. A lot of folks, man. We did a long show. So there's a whole lot in here. Ray 028. Let me see who else. Sasha, good seeing you as well. Lego My Ego is in the house. Lenny the Cool Dawson. And so special shout out to my man Darren Smith for coming in, saying what's up to us, giving an interview. Man, he did a great job. Got to get him back on. Just giving a good insight into it. Hannah's here in the house. Listen, if I don't get to say your name, there's a lot of people out here. We know how much we love you all. Tomorrow is the day. We are kicking this thing off for this 3-peat, this historic run. Be there in front of the TV, the tube, to watch this thing pop off and jump off. And like I said, man, we're going to get those pads popping like fish grease as soon as it comes out. So y'all enjoy yourselves. It's going to be a good day tomorrow. Dash Brothers, Marcus, Teja, man, love you guys. They were asking about your father, too. There's still some people over there asking about him and praying for him and thoughts and stuff like that with you as well. I seen that in here. So
we appreciate all the love, guys. And again,
sure.
I showed my father the episode on Wednesday after I told everybody, and he's back home and whatnot. They loved it, a little tear to his eyes. He just loved that everyone was saying prayers his way. But yeah, he's doing good. Just getting on this new medicine regimen. But yeah, he's slowly adapting to his new normal of more meds. But yeah, he's doing all right. And I appreciate all the love you guys
Thanks,
gave.
guys.
yeah, good. Well, like I said before, you know how much we love you, the community, how much we love you all too, man, just for the support and whatnot. And that means a lot. That means a lot. So when everybody's bearing their heart and loving on each other, that's exactly how we should be. So,
And he's a Commanders fan, so if you want to make him extra happy, the Commanders.
yeah, that's gonna be a good game. That might be one of the.
I hope so. I hope
Yes,
so.
yes.
That's an upset. Commanders winning that game. I'm calling it.
Mhm.
I don't buy the lines. I think that team is just too many injuries. I don't think they're the favorite as the Vegas has them out to be.
Yeah. Monica Sloan, Witchy Hall, Fatima was in here. Sis, good seeing if you're still in here. Just coming and finishing up on a couple of people. Like I said before, man, listen, y'all take care. God bless. Y'all have a good night. Long day, but hey, man, this is what the playoffs is all about. So
Right.
let's get it turned up, baby. Let's get it turned up.
Let's do it. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow right here, right after the game. So we hope everybody enjoyed the episode, and we'll get some post-game action and celebrations tomorrow after the game. So be here right after the game tomorrow. Love y'all.
Love you
Love
guys.
y'all.
See y'all
Good night,
later.
everybody.
Love y'all out
Later.
there. Chief Concern family. We'll see y'all.
See you guys. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.